Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the Flexin Nerd Podcast. Week 4.
Week 4.
That's a whole month of podcast.
Whole month?
A month anniversry, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do that.
Do we need balloons and stuff?
Streamers?
Ew.
We could have them. They wouldn't even know.
They have no idea. I got a streamer right now.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
Before we start out, I want to give a shout out to the Cult of the Curious members on Facebook page. If any of you are listening, I appreciate the support. You guys really jumped on that. Actually, they forced me to name the podcast. I wasn't gonna do it. I essentially was just like, I now that we started this, I understand now. And his is way harder. He does research. It's Dan Cummins.
We don't do research.
Dan Cummins. It's Time Suck. I do want to shout it out just a little bit in case you guys are curious. But yeah, I appreciate if any of you guys are listening. Any listeners really?
Yeah, we appreciate all of you. I know that we think we're pretty funny, but having other people listen and your input too makes us really happy, and we appreciate anybody who listens and taking time out of your day. Whenever you listen, we appreciate that very, very much.
Especially anybody besides us two that actually takes our opinions and actually listens to them. It's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, I mean, some of your opinions suck, but that's okay. That's okay.
I mean, yeah, but if you've made it this far into this podcast and you haven't figured that out yet, really, that's on you. That's on you.
Yeah, 100%.
So, some interesting topics this week. I want to start out with Mike Conley trade.
Hey, woo.
Oh, okay, corrections.
We got stuff I got to correct. At least me personally.
Corrections.
Last week we were talking about Anthony Bennett and the biggest draft, thinking he's the biggest draft. Oh my
draft
God.
bust.
Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't say those sentences.
I got you.
Of all time. He was drafted in 2013. I think Klay Thompson was drafted in 2012 or something like that, the year before, maybe 2 years before.
Maybe 2010, maybe.
It might be. But anyway, other guys in Anthony Bennett's draft class they could have taken. Giannis, Steven Adams, Victor Oladipo, CJ McCollum, and Rudy Gobert. Just those were like the all-stars, the really good players.
Any of them could have been teammates with LeBron when he came back.
But
then again, though, they would maybe if they take him, maybe if they take one of them, they don't have Kyrie when he comes back.
Maybe.
No, most likely. Most likely, because if you strike out on a you don't pick in the lottery next year.
Well,
no, I mean you're maybe. Anyway,
so that was one. I just wanted to clarify. I said he was in the same draft as Klay Thompson. I just wanted to make sure that my facts were straight. The other thing was we talked about LeBron versus MJ in 101. That scenario that came up. I think they suggested it in 2014.
It was Skip, right?
Skip, another Skip Bayless. I will talk a lot of shit about Skip Bayless.
And I will jump on board anytime.
But when that proposed one-on-one game was, when they talked about it, Jordan was 52 and LeBron was 30.
When did Jordan retire with the Wizards? How old was he? He was like 38, right?
Something like that. No, was he older than that?
38, 39, maybe. So at this point, he hadn't played basketball in maybe 12, 14 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
And LeBron's in the peak of his athletic abilities.
Yeah, you're right.
And Skip Bayless literally said Jordan would win.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
garbage. And last week we also talked about the Stanley Cup. That's what that's called. The St. Louis Blues won the Stanley Cup, and I had said that's a new team. The expansion team was actually the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Okay.
The Blues have been around since 1967.
See, it goes to show you how much I don't know about hockey because I was listening. I was like, yeah, that sounds right. So yeah, I'm gonna take what you say, and that's perfect.
So yeah, kind of made a mistake there. I just like to correct some of the stuff if I hear.
I mean, if we make mistakes, I want it to be out there. I don't want people in the comment or the listenership out there thinking we think we're perfect. Like, yeah, we're just people. We're going to make mistakes.
So, you mentioned a second ago the Mike Conley trade. So, if you didn't know, Mike Conley played for the Memphis Grizzlies, got traded to the Utah Jazz for
Jay Crowder, Grayson Allen, Kyle Korver, this year's 23rd overall pick, and a future first-round pick. So, the Jazz gave up a lot.
They gave up 3 players and 2 picks?
Yeah.
So, here's my thing. The players I'm iffy on. Grayson Allen, I think you should have kept just because he's young.
You don't know what he had. Yeah, like I said,
he showed some promise, but he's a dick.
He didn't play a lot.
No,
and I don't like him because look, me being a Duke fan, that says a lot that I don't like a former player, but. You can't be tripping people and throwing temper tantrums on the bench like that.
And he's got a lot of maturing to do, and maybe that's why they got rid of him.
Yeah, maybe they don't see him maturing, maybe.
Who knows? And he plays, I think, the same position as Donovan Mitchell. They both play shooting guard.
Yeah, but to have a decent backup behind him. Anyway, doesn't matter. He's gone now.
He's gone. Obviously, Kyle Korver and Jay Crowder are older.
But they're good pieces to have, though. Kyle Korver, a shooter's always going to have a spot on somebody's
They're good pieces to have if you're going to win a title.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Or if you're rebuilding, it's
good to have the mentors.
Good to, people that, especially like Kyle Korver, who's been to the finals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Most
So
definitely.
Jay Crowder, he's been to the finals.
Be good influences on John Morant.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later too, the NBA draft. But this trade, people went way over the top of it in my opinion. They were talking about how this trade makes the Utah Jazz Western Conference champions.
Yeah, literally finals contenders.
Yeah, with Mike Conley. Now,
with better than Houston, better than
LA, better than even a weekend Golden State.
And we're not even at free agency, so we don't even know what these teams are going to look like come
exactly
game 1.
40% of the league is free agents this year, which is bananas.
Ew.
To me. Yeah, 40%.
That's a gross percentage.
For those of you who don't know, that's almost half.
Yeah, I mean, if math isn't your strong suit.
Well, I mean, I know that it's not mine. But anyway, Mike Conley is a solid player. Don't get me wrong. He's a good defender. He's a reliable player. He's going to be in the right spot, all that good stuff. But he's never made an All-NBA team except one All-NBA defensive team.
Right.
I think he's made 2 or 3 All-Star teams. Like he's a solid guy, and he'll be good for Donovan Mitchell. But I don't see how it makes them.
From a Memphis standpoint, that was a good trade to me.
For the Grizzlies, yeah, very good trade.
Because you're admittedly you're rebuilding, which I like the teams. Pretty much, they haven't come out and said it, but I mean, come on now. You traded Marc Gasol last year, and you were trying to trade Conley.
They've been trying to trade Conley,
and I feel like you knew you were taking Morant with your first pick, or your second. You know what I mean? They're picking the draft.
Yeah.
You knew you were going to take him, so there's no reason for that to happen. So I guarantee they probably shopped them around, took the best deal that they could. Plus, they got another pick in the draft, which isn't never a bad thing.
Right.
It was a good
for the Grizzlies. It was a very good trade.
Very good trade for a rebuilding team to get that contract off your books.
Right.
That way you can literally rebuild for the future.
But like we both agree, for Utah, it's a solid move. But it doesn't make you title contenders, in my opinion. Especially not because
one player is not going to get you over the hump against Houston, who swept you out in the playoffs last year.
And LA is going to be better. There's no two ways about it.
They're already better.
Right. So even if nobody else changes, you're a 4 seed. And are you going to be better than Portland? Because Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell are not better than CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Okay, so
that's not your answer.
We got you down to 5. Are they better than Paul George and Russell Westbrook?
No.
Okay, you're down to 6. Like I'm sorry,
right?
You're going to be a playoff team, but
you really have to hope that like a team like the Thunder, like you just said, that they shoot themselves in the foot. And then you have Russ go out there and do what Russ sometimes does.
Well, they're shopping Steven Adams, and they're shopping...
That's a mistake. Steven Adams is a good player.
He's a very good...
He's a solid defender.
There are not many players tougher than Steven Adams.
You know he's like 25?
Yeah, he looks like he's a million. He looks like he crawled out of a cave.
He's been in the league for 1,000 years.
Right.
But he's a good player, though. I like Steven Adams.
He's Australian.
The youngest of was like 18 kids, 17 kids. That's gross.
That was the other thing that bugged me is they were talking about when the Lakers first made this trade. I say they as a collective, talking heads, all of them. They were talking about this makes some are on the fence that this or not on the fence, but on the side of the Lakers are title contenders now, and the other side is not exactly because who are they better than? But my thing is one of the arguments was who do you move out in the West? Well, it's not necessarily that teams
move out.
Like which teams?
Well, who snuck in last year in the 7th and 8th speed in the West? Because let's look at this realistically. LeBron never get. Not even just LeBron. The Lakers in general, if they don't get hit with a slew of injuries like they do,
they're in the playoffs anyway.
Luke Walton doesn't get fired, and they're in the playoffs. I don't
know about Luke Walton. I think
you're
he
right.
gets fired.
Yeah, Magic Johnson wanted him out.
Gone. But what I mean is, they were saying, Utah's going to be better. I think the Rockets are going to regroup. They're going to be better. And I'm like, yeah, but there are some teams that are going to be worse, and some teams that are going to lose free agents and stuff. So it's not necessarily that the Lakers are just going to pass all the teams from last year's playoffs. It's that the teams are going to be different.
We're going to be able to have this real conversation in like 2 weeks because once free agency's gone.
Hey. Thank you for reminding me. I was going to mention this at the end, and if I say it now, I might remember at the end. Next week, no episode.
No episode, yeah. Somebody over here is going on vacation.
Listen, I got places to be.
Living life and stuff.
Yeah, well, we'll be...
Family life
or
whatever.
We were trying to figure out a way if there was going to be a way to record it, but we work different schedules. We're not going to be able to record an episode next week. Sorry for getting in the middle, but he said 2 weeks. That reminded me.
Smart.
I'll say it again at the end if you forget, but anyway...
So
Lakers going to be a good team.
We'll just have a bigger episode when we come back.
We can do that. We can ramble on for this one. We can do.
How about we just make them both longer?
No, yeah, why not? So if this one's an hour and a half and the next one's an hour and a half, that makes up for it.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, I love talking, so
we can talk
all day.
What they don't understand is that
This podcast could be 10 hours long if we really didn't. If we didn't want it
we
to be.
limit ourselves to limited topics and a limited time frame because we don't want to talk
We'll
forever.
ramble on and on and on and on and on.
And we'll hit 18 subjects and we'll forget what we're talking about.
So the Mike Conley trade makes them better, but not as good as they're saying.
I hope.
And then I know you said something about Skip Bayless.
Oh, I say lots of things about
him and the Lakers.
He hates them.
Yeah,
well, he hates LeBron.
Yeah, you know why? It's the same reason probably why I do, because everyone else loves him. No, everyone else loves him.
He is a Michael Jordan till I die person.
You can be a Michael Jordan fan till you die, but you can also respect other players' greatnesses.
No, he can't.
It's because he's an idiot. You know how I feel about
Correct.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
And I still say he's the second best player of all time.
Correct.
I can not like somebody, but also respect their game. It's just like Kevin Durant. I don't like Kevin Durant, but I also realize he's not probably, he's the best player in the league.
In the league? Oh, absolutely. 100%.
But that's, you know what I mean?
Still a bitch.
Still
but
a
best
bitch.
player, best player in the NBA.
You can not like somebody, but also not be stupid and say,
But
like Tom Brady, for instance. How many people do you know that hate Tom Brady?
All of them.
But you also have to realize he's a great quarterback.
Hot take. I don't think he's that good.
Is it because all he does is check down all day?
Literally nothing about Tom Brady is impressive other than his brain. Now, granted, I know a lot. You can get a lot from your brain.
He doesn't take a lot of chances in games.
He can't. He doesn't have the arm strength.
Yeah.
He's never had the arm strength. He's not mobile.
He could be one of those players that could just literally, like kind of like Brett Favre was for a while in Green Bay.
So
they could just play as long as they want, and no one in Foxborough is gonna have the balls to go, "Hey, Tom, have you thought about retiring?" Because if he does that, then the city of Boston blows up the Patriots headquarters.
Do you think they throw like the tea in the water?
They have to.
Listen. There's a reason Tom Brady was a 6th round pick or whatever. He's not good. I'm not. Yes, he's accomplished a lot of things.
I don't say
No. Listen. The argument, the age-old the age-old adage of system versus player. Okay,
right.
Tom Brady is the ultimate system, and I know you can say, "Well, Bill Belichick didn't have success before Tom Brady, and Tom Brady didn't have success."
That's not true because they were a playoff team when Drew Bledsoe was leading. Like when Drew Bledsoe went down and Tom Brady took over,
they were a playoff.
They were a good team.
But I'm saying, like in Cleveland, he was garbage.
Well, yeah, but look at Cleveland. Look what he's working with.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, I don't think Tom Brady's that good. I think they've had a lot of luck. Bill Belichick is an amazing schemer, and he puts the players in the right position to win.
Yeah,
and
he drafts really well.
He drafts really well. The scheme, I think Bill Belichick is more part of the equation than Tom Brady.
I think if you look at it like this. Take Tom Brady off. They went 10-6 that year with Matt Castle as quarterback.
Correct.
Take Belichick off that team.
We don't know.
Then that whole division is open.
I think so.
I agree with you, but I don't say that Tom Brady's not good. I don't care
if it's blasphemy. I will say that he's
it's not blasphemy. Good. 2 minutes left in the game. There aren't a lot of quarterbacks you're putting ahead of Tom Brady, dog.
But there are quarterbacks I will put ahead of Tom Brady.
I'm not okay. Like, are you going like current? Or are you going like all time?
Today. Aaron Rodgers.
Arguably, he could be
Drew
assistant
Brees.
quarterback too.
No.
You remember when Matt Flynn came in and threw 6 touchdown passes in one game?
One game.
Okay, but I'm saying
Matt Castle, who we just talked about, did it for a season and won 10 games.
That's true.
Matt Flynn threw. He set the record in one game against a garbage team, and got paid and didn't even play after that.
Yeah.
So don't give me that.
Did he go to Oakland after that?
Yeah, and got beat out by.
Well, let's be honest. If Oakland's giving you money,
he went to Oakland and then he went to Seattle, and you know who Seattle drafted? Russell Wilson.
I don't want to talk about Seattle.
I would take.
It makes me sad.
Tom Brady is a solid NFL quarterback. What I'm saying is that he's average. He's average.
I'm telling you,
nothing about him is outstanding.
2 minutes left in the Super Bowl.
Let's go all time. Peyton Manning. I'll take him. Joe Montana.
Ooh, in the clutch? You're taking Peyton Manning in the clutch.
Okay.
You remember when he threw a lollipop to Tracy Porter to lose the Super Bowl?
Hey.
Don't get me wrong. I am a huge Peyton Manning fan. I've loved Peyton Manning. My dad loved Peyton Manning, and you just copy. Hold on. Peyton Manning is the greatest all-time regular season quarterback. Does not make you a good playoff quarterback.
I agree. 100% agree.
I'm just saying.
James Harden is the Peyton Manning of the NBA. Listen, so Peyton Manning
That is a very good point. That is a very good
I would like to credit
that.
Max Kellerman with that.
Max Kellerman, that was a good one.
I did
that
not come up with that.
Good.
But what I'm saying is that I don't like Tom Brady. Okay, so we were talking...
we could literally dedicate an entire podcast of Tom Brady.
Yeah, hot take. He's
I don't want to.
He's not that good. Okay, what were we talking about? The NBA. We talked about the
Lakers.
Let's talk about the Lakers for a minute.
Yeah.
So there's an argument, not an argument, but there was a discussion last week about how many games the odds makers came out. The Lakers at over under 54.5 wins. That's a lot.
I'm taking the under on that.
The under is solid. Why though? Why are you taking under?
Right now, I'm taking the under because I don't know who else they add.
Sure, fine.
Anthony Davis and LeBron, I don't know how many games those two can win, especially because you traded away
so much.
For sure. I don't know what they're looking like.
Okay, so
right now, I take the under on that.
And you know what? I'm not going to argue with the under. I probably would take under too now in a couple weeks when we see what everything shakes out.
After free agency, I definitely think, and I know we were literally threw the Lakers in every single...
We did.
But to me, though...
Just as potentials, though.
But it makes sense because with just adding Anthony Davis to LeBron James, you put LA at the top of everyone's list just because what they're building out there makes a lot of sense.
The opportunities are
So why wouldn't
huge.
you want to go out there and play? Plus, the idea that you get to dethrone the Warriors as the owners of the West... That would be awesome.
That might be enough for a lot of people.
Yeah, that would be enough for me. Hashtag D'Angelo Russell back to LA.
That's actually a real thing. We were joking about that, but they're going to get a meeting with him.
I want it to happen. I really do. I want him to come home. I want him to come home. LA, man.
He's from Ohio.
I'm talking about he belongs in he should have never left LA.
Because he got ice in his veins?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I get why you traded.
Train of thought. 54 wins. One of the talking heads, I think it was our good old buddy Skip Bayless, said the Lakers aren't going to win that many games because LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to be injured and not playing a lot.
See, now I know we talked about this before the podcast, and I thought the injuries with Anthony Davis, I thought he was injury prone.
Right.
And then you said was it a couple seasons,
two seasons back to back. He's played at least 75 games. So he's only missing 7. That he took a week off for rest or something. You know
75.
What I'm saying?
That's a 7 games short.
7 games short.
So I mean, some of those are probably back to back games.
Right.
And you rest your stars in back to back games.
So in 2 seasons back to back, he played 75 games. Last year he didn't play that many games, but that's because they were sitting him out because of the trade stuff.
And then the trade stuff because you don't want him to get hurt. And then you can't trade him. Nobody trade him.
Right.
I get it.
Last year I would say, is an outlier on games missed. But back-to-back seasons of 75 games, when do you lose the injury-prone label?
I don't think you ever do. I think once you get slapped with that label, you're never going to get rid of it. And it's stupid, and I don't think it should happen. But I think once you get hit with injury-prone, anytime you get nicked up, even if it's a fluke, something that never happens. Oh, I sprained my ankle doing this. Oh, see? He's injury prone.
I guess I can't really argue.
I'm not saying
that.
It's right. It's just the pattern.
For sure. I mean,
Derrick Rose could never get injured for the rest of his career. You're still going to think he's injury prone because of what happened to him early on.
See, the thing with Derrick Rose is he's only injured his knees.
Yeah,
that's bad luck.
Yeah,
they shouldn't have kept him in that game.
So can we talk about something?
Time machine stuff right there.
If you could take one player that got hurt and their brain was cut, me and Mo were talking about this at work the other day, and he said Derrick Rose because he's a Bulls fan.
Sure,
but Grant Hill was the one I brought up too.
Grant Hill,
him or Penny Hardaway.
Didn't Tracy McGrady lose some prime for injuries?
Towards the end, he was done. He should have retired. Him and Yao got hurt right at the same time, and then but T-Mac would have been good. Yeah, Grant Hill though, because they were literally touting him as the next.
Yeah,
Jordan.
they were. Speaking of touting and aspirations. Okay.
Good vocab.
Okay, listen to this stuff. So, again, listen, this next few minutes here is going to be the Skip Bayless portion of our
Can we just
show.
have a segment of Skip Bayless?
You know what? We might. And this week on Bullshit Skip Bayless
We're going to get that as a little audio clip of one of us singing that. Dumb shit that Skip Bayless says.
But ding. Anyway, so this week he said a couple things, but I'll start with, he said Lonzo Ball had more pressure put on him entering the NBA than any player ever. I'll wait.
Ever. You remember, okay, that's a good segue because Grant Hill, LeBron James?
I was thinking, I don't know, LeBron James, the 18-year-old on the cover of Sports Illustrated Chosen One.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, get out of here.
He's saying because Magic Johnson said we're gonna hang your jersey in the rafters, and his dad putting all that was
first
the pressure.
of all, the only person that put pressure on him was LaVar. Speaking of LaVar, can we segue it a little bit?
You know what? We'll cut the Skip Bayless stuff short. Let's talk about LaVar.
Well, no, we're not just gonna cut it short. We'll come back.
We will come back. Yeah,
only because you talked about his son. So ESPN's just done with LaVar.
Correct.
For those of you that don't know, who was interviewing him? I don't know the lady's name.
Molly. She's married to Jalen Rose.
So she was interviewing him, and I don't remember the line of questioning, but she said, can we change gears for a second?
She said, can I switch gears with you real quick?
And LaVar comes back with, you can ask, what was it?
You can change gears up with me anytime.
And caught backlash for that, which I rightfully think he should have.
Okay, so
because a lot of people are saying that we took it out of context. I don't think so. He meant what he meant it the way everyone else took it.
Okay, so here's my thing. Initially, when I was watching the segment on my phone, she says what she said. He responds. Stephen A. was like, "Whoa, come on, dude," and Molly's like, taken aback for a second. She's like, "Okay, can we stay on topic, please?" And LaVar kind of like chuckled and laughed it off. My first thought is, you can't say that. I think he honestly meant he's ready to answer any question at any time.
So you're thinking he literally was laughing because
I think
they took it wrong?
No,
or you think he literally meant I'm down to answer anything you want to ask?
He literally meant I'm down to answer whatever.
I saw that take too, but still, as controversy
he
goes,
should not have said
especially
it. Like
the way
he worded
Hollywood is right now.
Right,
you can't literally look in a woman's direction in the wrong way without it being taken in backward into context.
I think that regardless of whether or not he meant it,
yeah,
he shouldn't have said it.
No, but then again, though, like
that way,
how many of us don't? How many of us say things in the heat? Not a heat of the moment, but
like
literally my Boston comment. I didn't even think of the Boston Marathon bombing. I literally just said something to be outrageous.
I agree that he should. Banned and all that stuff is whatever. ESPN has to do what they think is right.
Like they're owned by Disney, so naturally they're gonna take the most extreme. Look what they did to James Gunn. Yeah. The things that he's apologized for 1,000 times.
And I get it. But my thing is, I honestly, I think he was... She said, can I change gears with you for a minute? And he said, you can change gears with me anytime.
Yeah, I think he meant it
I think he was just meaning, I'll answer the question. My initial thought was, whoa, dude.
The only one that really knows what he meant is him.
And he hasn't said anything.
Yeah. So, I mean, who really cares? Plus, you're on ESPN.
Right.
So, like...
Also, I'm fine with, because the bullshit that comes out of his mouth.
I'm fine with never seeing him again.
Right.
I was so tired of seeing him. I was waiting for him to make a mistake. You know what? I'm going to say thank you, LaVar.
Yeah, appreciate you. You know what? Who else we can thank? They shipped Lonzo to New Orleans, and nobody cares about that place. Now, granted, New Orleans is going to get TV this year because Zion and Lonzo are going to be fun to watch. We'll talk more about the draft in a minute.
Yeah, because I got some beef with the Pelicans.
Well, stop with the beef.
I got beef.
Listen, let's go back to our Skip Bayless segment. Anyway, Lonzo Ball has more pressure than LeBron James and Zion.
All right, let's go with that.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
You know what else makes sense? Robert Horry is better than Michael Jordan, since we're just throwing out ridiculous stats. Because he's got 7 rings more than 6.
Okay.
He's clearly a better player, obviously.
All right, anyway, so the next portion of our Skip Bayless...
Yeah, let's go back to the skip.
Bullshit.
I just wanted to talk about the balls because you talked about...
So Skip Bayless was talking. So you know the Chris Paul and James Harden have had some beef. You've heard about this stuff?
No, they have beef now.
You didn't hear that?
I know that Chris Paul demanded a trade,
allegedly,
and literally got 0 offers.
Yes,
which made me giggle like a 5-year-old.
Okay, so if you hadn't heard, there is strife. There's backlash. The two are not getting along.
Well, because one wants to blame the other one. I guarantee that's what it is.
Kind of. So what it is Chris Paul left the Clippers, wanted to leave the Clippers because he didn't want to handle the ball at the time. He thought if I go...
point guard.
But literally everything ran through him. And he's old.
You're the point guard.
Shut up.
Be a shooting guard now.
Listen. I got stuff to say. No,
go ahead.
Okay. So he wanted to leave because he didn't want to handle the ball every single time. So he thought, I need to get out of there. So he ended up in Houston. He thought him and Harden, the ball run through Harden.
50-50?
I'll get some touches, right? Well, it got so bad last year that Harden did literally everything. You know what I mean? Literally every single.
Didn't Chris Paul miss time though?
Some here and there, but that's not the point.
Okay.
He was like, "Look, it's not working. We should share the ball more." And James Harden's like, "Why do I need to share the ball with you? Like, I'm putting up all these numbers. Like, we're doing well. We're winning games. Because if I don't play well, we don't win games." And so there's a beef with the play style, not necessarily.
That makes sense.
And so now the players are arguing. Like, I guess at one point last year, Chris Paul reached out to talk to Harden about something, and then he didn't talk to him for 2 months. Just didn't talk to him.
What a baby.
Right. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and allegedly last week Chris Paul asked for a trade. He claims out and, by the way, categorically denies. Can you tell me what categorically denies means?
He denied it
In a box? Like what?
Yeah, in a certain.
You know how many times I heard categorically denied last week? I have no idea.
You know what it is? It's because the categorically denied just is a fancy term.
It sounds really cool.
Nobody knows what it means, but they just keep saying it.
So, but regardless, Chris Paul wouldn't mind being moved. All this to say, there's a report by Adrian Wojnarowski on Twitter.
I'm proud of you that you said that name without even stuttering.
So here's the thing. So he tweeted and said, hold on, I'm going to pull up the tweet real quick because it's hilarious. So Skip Bayless read this tweet on air, okay?
I hate him so much.
Oh, it's so great.
If I ever had the chance to meet Skip Bayless, my first statement is going to be, "You're a fucking idiot." You know that, right? But then again, like I can't really say that.
Okay.
Because he makes more money than me.
So
doing what we're doing right now.
So Skip Bayless on air was like, "Hey," he was talking about what I just described to you, the problems James Harden and Chris Paul were having. He said at one point in practice, it got so bad last year, Chris Paul came in. So one of the things, sorry, I distracted my own self. One of the things that shows how petty Chris Paul is, James Harden likes to, at the end of practice, go and shoot free throws by himself. He gets his own basket, and he just shoots free throws to end practice, for an hour or so.
Makes sense why he's money from the free throw line.
So that's just what he does. That's how it's his routine, right? And players and their routines are really serious. One day, Chris Paul took a rookie and went over there and started playing one-on-one on James Harden's basket for no reason, to be an asshole. So that's part of the beef and the problems they have are running deep, right? Chris Paul's an angry little shit.
That's a very shitty thing to do.
Right. And so,
if you know anything about athletes, you know
routine is huge.
And the
better you
are.
are.
The better ones, like Kobe used to wake up at 2:00 in the morning just to go for a jog.
Yeah. Like,
they say at his peak he slept 2 to 3 hours a night.
That doesn't make any sense.
You know who else does that? Batman. That's ridiculous.
And you know what else? I've never seen Kobe Bryant and Batman in the same room together.
Don't do this to me. My favorite player and my favorite superhero are the same.
Could be.
They're both worth a lot of money.
That's
anyway,
true.
Go ahead.
Okay, so they're having these problems in practice, right? And so Skip Bayless says, at one point in practice, it got so bad last year, Chris Paul came in and made fun of James Harden's man boobs until James Harden cried and left the gym.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
There's no way.
Listen, he reported this on air. He got the report from Adrian Wojnarowski on Twitter. Well, he must not have been looking very closely. Because Adrian Wojnarowski, the name, was spelled wrong. And his Twitter handle, at the end of Twitter handle, it says @ and like whatever your name is. So it's not necessarily your name like mine's Zachary Renner or whatever. It's not that. It's a jumbled up, like an email address. It's a shortened version of your name, right?
Right.
The name after Adrian Wojnarowski was Sports Talk Barry. It was a troll account.
Okay.
He had spelled Adrian Wojnarowski wrong.
On purpose?
Right. And
Okay.
and his real name is Barry McCockiner.
Oh, okay.
And he's a troll account. So his tweet said, he tweeted this on like Tuesday of last week or something. He said, sources tell ESPN that Chris Paul repeatedly made fun of James Harden for having man boobs during practices over the last 2 seasons. Several times Harden broke down into tears and left the practice facility. No surprise to see Harden wanting to leave Paul, or Harden wanting Paul out. So he tweeted this.
Can we talk about if this was a real thing? First of all, Harden's not leaving crying. He's leaving after punching Chris Paul's lights out.
So look, it gets better. There's layers to this. So, what is his name? Skip Bayless brought this on air as a fact. Okay? But this dude's a troll account. Listen to some of the other tweets this guy has. One of his said, just broke into my neighbor's house to remind them that O.J. Simpson is the only man to ever run for 2,000 yards in a 14-game season. Instead of calling the cops, my neighbors immediately started applauding and thanking me for providing them with information they previously didn't know. So this dude is a joke. One of his other ones said,
That's
Dwight.
a good one. I like that's a good one.
This is my favorite one. He said, Dwight Howard may be a butt bandit, but he's 100% a Hall of Famer, especially since I can't even finish the tweet. It's so funny. Oh, God. All right.
Did that man call that other man a butt bandit?
He called Dwight Howard a butt bandit.
I don't support the use of that slur. Just want to say.
Okay, sorry, I need a second there. Anyway, the tweet says Dwight Howard might be a Whew. Alright, and we're back, folks. Sorry about that. The tweet that I've been trying to read says Dwight Howard might be a butt bandit, but he's 100% a Hall of Famer, especially since the Basketball Hall of Fame is easier to get into than a Kardashian. Okay, so that's the kind of tweets that this guy puts out, and Skip didn't see that, and he just read the boobs comment.
The thing I don't like about Skip Bayless is he didn't come out and apologize for reading the wrong.
No, I hasn't said anything about it.
Of course not. That's another reason why I don't like him.
But
you have to at least admit when you're wrong, right?
Holy cats. I agree. He should say something because it's not a real report. But I checked the guy's account again today. There is actually a video, okay, of Chris Paul comes in and grabs James Harden's chest like he's talking about his man boobs and like plays them a couple times, and then James Harden's like, nah, screw this, I'm out of here, and actually leaves. The practice was over, but
so maybe that's where that fake tweet came from.
But the guy didn't know. He didn't know. He thought he was making a joke.
It up? Oh, wow.
And it actually happened.
Oh, so now I see what you're talking about with the layers.
There's layers to this. It actually was not he didn't do it over time and he didn't cry, but there was...
I mean, it happened and he fuck you, I'm leaving.
Right, so...
I get it.
Alright, yeah, so Skip Bayless said that. I think that's all in my Skip Bayless segment for this week.
Dumb shit that Skip Bayless says.
Ding. But anyway, that's why he said man boobs on television.
The problem, okay, so let's just, the problem that you have with Chris Paul, moving Chris Paul, is just the money, right? Nobody wants the money, nobody wants the aging superstar. So I know that they do this in the NFL, and I know that there's no way Chris Paul would do this, but can you restructure your contract in
I believe
the NBA?
So.
The only way that they do that is if he agrees to restructure the contract, right?
Yes, you have to actually rewrite it.
Nobody's going to pay you $41 million a year to be Chris Paul.
He's going to be 44 in the third year of that deal. $44 million a year.
That's ridiculous. For a minute, I thought you meant he was going to be 44 years old, and I was like, all right, fact check that, because there's no way Chris Paul's in his 40s. Anyway, NBA draft?
NBA draft, let's talk about it.
Obviously, I know we talked about this the night it happened. The fact that ESPN said breaking news, Zion Williamson.
Yeah, I was upset with that.
ESPN, you should be disappointed in yourself. Anybody with a brain knew as soon as he declared he was going number one. No, before he declared.
Yeah.
People were like, oh yeah, Zion's going number one.
They even knew that when he was in high school.
Yeah, because we heard about this kid when he was a sophomore, right?
Go watch the famous Los videos.
Yeah.
He was like, where'd you find him? Boarding, what does he call it? Not a board, halfway home? Anyway, famous Los says funny stuff about Zion. He called him 26-year-old in an 8th grader's body. Anyway, it shouldn't have even said news. It should have just...
The first two picks were the lock. The third one was the one that was interesting.
The third one was a question mark.
And here is why I have a problem with the Pelicans.
Because they didn't trade up to
Did they at least try? Did they at least try?
No, because they traded back out of the 4 spot.
Yeah, because R.J. Barrett was gone. They should have at least they should have been like, Knicks, is there anybody on our team, minus Zion Williams, that you would want so that we can get R.J. Barrett at number 3?
I see why.
They should have tried to package him and maybe like Drew Holiday to try to get the 3rd pick so you can get Zion and R.J. Barrett on the same team.
I
was so angry when I saw that the Knicks took RJ.
That's our fantasy.
It makes sense. They clearly had chemistry
for sure.
Duke.
I'm not.
And the Knicks have way more problems than literally. I saw a screenshot.
Yeah, of the ticker at the
bottom.
bottom.
It literally said everything.
It said
everything.
It said Knicks needs everything, and in quotes it said starters included.
Like, come on.
So I know they need a lot of help.
You want to start building people around, and I understand that you want you have to have a cornerstone. And don't get me wrong, I do think R.J. Barrett has a future in this league. But as the Pelicans, if they didn't at least try to trade up to that number 3 spot and get R.J. Barrett, then they messed up. Other than the draft, other than the first 3 picks, I'll be honest, college basketball isn't really my thing. I think I'm like most fans of the fans in quotations of college basketball. I really only watch in March. Like I said, I'm a Duke fan, but like I'm a Duke fan light. Like, you know what I mean? Like I pay attention to what their record is.
Right.
I pay attention to the key games, but mainly up until the ACC tournament and the March Madness. I don't really pay attention. I'm like, oh, we're number 1 seed. All right, good. That's all I need to know.
For sure. Hey, maybe we can do this year for March Madness.
Oh my goodness, we could do a bracket next year.
We can do a bracket, and the podcast listeners can get us brackets. We'll figure that out.
Maybe even like put on stipulations.
What was the old Mike and Mike called it? The Sheets of Integrity.
Okay.
We'll have Sheets of Integrity. We won't steal that name, obviously, because that's probably copyrighted somewhere. But
Mike and Mike, by the way.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm so sad that that's no longer a thing.
Yeah, me too. But they're doing really well where
I'm
they're
glad that Mike Golick Jr. took off too. I know that his football career didn't pan out the way he wanted, but way to spin it, man.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job.
I like Mike Golick. Yeah, I like Mike Golick Jr.
Junior and senior, they're both really good.
Yeah.
I don't.
There's
No offense, Trey Wingo, you're okay, but the other Mikes are my
I like
favorite.
the Mikes.
With the draft, so
Mike Cubed.
I know slightly more about college basketball than you, just because I'm a sad person who.
That's not sad. I mean, if
spend way too much time into sports.
I know the Hawks are looking decent.
Listen, I love what the Atlanta Hawks did.
You took it some convincing on your part about Cam Reddish.
So the Hawks took a player from Virginia. What is
Hunter?
his name?
Something Hunter?
DeAndre Hunter, I believe. Something Hunter. He plays power forward.
They're the ones that traded up to get the 4th pick, right? Or no?
They had the 4th. Not the 4th.
No. Pelicans had the 4th.
They traded up to get Hunter.
Okay.
Then they traded back, or they kept their 10 pick. I don't know. They traded back into the top 10 to take Cam Reddish, who plays small forward. He's from Duke. They took him at number 10. I love that deal. So what you've got now is you got Trae Young, a good point guard who can shoot the lights out.
I think he's an all-star caliber point guard.
I agree. He's an underrated underrated passer. They've got John Collins, who they drafted last year. He's great really finisher at the rim. He's a center. So what you've done is Hunter plays a very strong power forward position. He can shoot a little bit, but he's going to be in your mid-range area.
Yeah, he might be your center, and then you can move Collins up to power forward.
You could do either one. And Cam Reddish, look, he didn't do... A lot of people had problems with the way...
He wasn't great in the...
He wasn't great in the tournament, and they also weren't impressed with his attitude. Like, he seemed too laid back.
Yeah.
And he wasn't very aggressive.
It didn't seem like he was taking it as serious.
Right.
And obviously, I don't know what his stats were, but definitely you could tell that it went RJ, Zion, and then a couple layers down.
And then Cam. Reddish. But in my opinion, if you go... So I've done some research on him, and I've watched other people talk about him. If you go back in his high school days, he was actually the point guard. And then he had a growth spurt, so he knows how to handle the ball.
Okay.
He's
kind of like a Brandon Ingram type?
Yeah. He's about that height, 6'8". He has a beautiful jump shot. It's really nice.
Yeah, I've seen some clips of him where he was shooting the ball, and he looks pretty nice.
It's a very nice jumper. He's athletic, and the way he's built is he's gonna put on a lot of muscle. He's gonna put on a lot more weight.
Plus, you always could tell when they hit that next level, and then you're in the NBA and you get that next level type trainers and stuff, that you can really see that they reach their max potential if they want to. Obviously.
And they question his want to, like, why'd you let RJ and Zion take over if you're an alpha dog too? Because he was one of the top 3 recruits in the country.
Literally, I understand that, but it's literally, there can't be 3 alpha dogs on a team.
Not only that, I think that's the point. I think it's actually better. His attitude isn't necessarily one that'll drive other people away. They'll want to come play with him because he's so open.
Yeah.
And he said, there was an interview on First Take, and he was like, I didn't eat very healthy. I was eating pizzas and chicken nuggets and fries and stuff. I was unhealthy, so I didn't feel my best. And so, because Stephen A. was like, why didn't I see you get out there and get it? Like, when Zion went down, how come you didn't step up? He was like, I just wasn't feeling well. Like, I didn't have the energy. And he's like, I'm taking care of my body now. I'm eating right. I've got trainers. Like, I'm working towards it. And I think Cam Reddish on that Hawks team is going to be really good. He gives you a floor spacer. Like I said, he's 6'8". He can handle the ball. He can be like a third ball handler if you need one. He can bring the ball up the court. There was a game. Go look up the game winner. Not game winner. I apologize.
Louisville,
the
right?
Louisville highlights. They get the rebound. They bring the ball. RJ brings the ball up the court, and he drops the ball like behind his back to Cam, who's following him.
Between his legs.
But between his legs, back to Cam, and Cam just pulls up, and he looks just like Kevin Durant when he shoots.
Yeah.
I mean, he pulls up in just nothing but the
Full
bottom
confidence,
of the net.
yeah.
It's that jumper right there. He's got it, and I know a random jumper on any given night or whatever.
No, but it's the level of confidence that he pulled up with.
He hit it.
If you can get him to shoot like that all the time, it's lights out. He's going to hit 40% behind the line. And if anybody can hit 40% behind the 3-point line, then we're always going to have a spot in the NBA. Especially today, the way it's trending now.
100%.
It's crazy.
And I don't remember where I saw it. I was watching a YouTube video. They were talking about him. Somebody actually said they compared him to Tracy McGrady. He doesn't have that exact level of athleticism, but his ball handling, his passing
T-Mac
ability.
is 6'8".
Yeah. He can shoot.
Yeah.
They call him T-Mac's obviously a legit scorer.
Oh,
and
for
they
sure.
think Cam Reddish could be a scorer at the next level. The only reason he didn't do it was, and it's also you got to think system, because college.
Of the three Duke players, who do you think? Say 10 years from now, who do you think is the better of the three? Because I know Reddish is like you said, he's the one you got the most questions about.
Currently.
But they're talking about RJ being the better of the three.
So-
I've heard that a lot. That they're saying that he's going to be like a bona fide
for sure.
scorer. And
He looks a lot like James Harden.
My only problem with Zion is the same thing I have with Giannis. You need to learn how to shoot, and you need to learn how to shoot well.
So one of the things that, you know what, I'll give, I believe it's Skip. It's Skip or Stephen A, one of those two. Where, like, the thing that I like about Zion is that he got 22 points and 10 rebounds off the ball.
Right.
Where a lot of NBA players and a lot of superstars have to have the ball.
Yeah.
So I will give him credit in that regard. I don't, honestly, who's in the best situation? It's either Zion or Cam. Because the Knicks are garbage.
Cam is in the best situation because he's got a bunch of young pieces around him.
But the Pelicans do too.
Yeah.
Lonzo, Ingram, Zion.
So it's RJ's in the worst situation, but maybe better because then he's going to have to develop his game faster.
Could be.
Because Zion and Reddish, they're gonna be able to live off what they were doing before.
Because they have
RJ's gonna have to develop everything in order to be
I
competitive.
guess for me,
in 10 years,
your heart says say Zion.
are they all in the East too?
Yeah, no, the Pelicans are West.
Okay, are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
That's why I
they're,
remember
like,
because
right on the
they
border.
didn't want to trade Anthony Davis to the Lakers because he plays in the West.
That's right.
So I want to say Zion. I like Zion. I don't think. Look,
I'm not as high on Zion as everyone else.
Me either.
Really not.
And not that he's not impressive or could be impressive.
No, he's fun to watch, but to me though, to play in the NBA nowadays, you have to be able to shoot the ball.
See, but he's not a bad shooter. From the college three-point line, he hit 32%.
Okay, what's a college three-pointer?
I
a
know.
Mid-range jump shot.
Okay, I know.
How many mid-range jump shots do you see in the NBA nowadays? Because
many.
they literally call it, when you see somebody take a mid-range, what do they call it? The lost art of the mid-range jump shot.
Right, I know. But what I'm saying is he's not afraid to shoot.
Yeah,
and his jumper doesn't look bad.
You can't. There are things from him you can't take away. His athleticism for his size is disgusting.
But he's got to lose weight.
He
can't play at 285, bro.
And he's even his position, the position he plays is still up in the air. Because 6'8", when I think of 6'8", I think of 3.
He's
6'7".
He's 6'6".
So that's a small forward or a big shooting guard. You're going to put Zion at the 2 or the 3?
He can't shoot.
So you're going to put a 6'6" guy at the 4. He's going to get bodied by power forwards.
But he's so strong, it might not matter.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he's 285, which I don't want him to play at 2. He needs to go down to 260, at least.
Yeah, if he goes down to 260, he could play 3 easy.
He could play 3.
I don't think you could put Zion at the 4. He might be strong. I'm not taking anything away from him. He could absolutely be strong. But strength doesn't mean anything when someone can just turn around and fire it right over you.
But Zion can jump 8 feet in the air.
It's true, but still though.
I don't know.
Put him on Kevin Durant.
Who can? No, that's not a fair comparison. Who can guard Kevin Durant?
Put him on LeBron James then.
Who can guard LeBron?
Kevin Durant.
No, Kawhi.
Lance
That's
Stevenson.
the only guy. Shut up.
Blow in his ear.
Anyway, so for me personally, I'm going to go out on a limb. I bet Cam Reddish is the star.
Best of the three. I think it's going to be RJ.
Here's my reasoning. Is I think Cam is going to be the best shooter out of the three, therefore he will have a longer and better career.
I think RJ is going to be better because, like I said, he's going to be forced to develop faster. It's either that or he's going to bust out. I mean, one of the two, I think.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Well, let's revisit this after we see him play a month or two.
Yeah, let's talk about this come December.
After we see him get some games in, because then you have a better feel for it. I don't think we're going to hear a lot about Cam Reddish because Atlanta doesn't get talked about, and they might be in a playoff race this year, so we might actually hear about them.
I think Atlanta's a 4 seed this year.
Ooh, are you going Stone Cold Lead Pipe locks on that?
Yep.
4 seed?
At least the 4 seed.
Can we bet something on this?
What do you want to bet?
Wings?
Bet. All right.
We'll buy. Winner gets wings.
Winner gets wings. Fine.
So I say they will finish five or below,
and
you're
think
going 4 or above.
I don't think they're like 1 or I think 3 or 4. I definitely don't think they're first seed. Definitely don't think they're second.
If they're
seed,
above
3
4, I'll still give you the win.
All right. So 4 and up. You think 5 and below?
Yeah.
All right.
What kind of wings do I want? All right. Anyway, that's an interesting. So for me, who else? The Cavs, Darius Garland. A lot of people
were toting him to be something.
They were talking about him being like
him and Colin
Damian
Sexton
Lillard.
might be good, right?
Yeah, Colin Sexton, he can shoot. He's a really good defender. He's a good point. I don't know about good, but he's a point guard, right? You have Garland play like shooting guard because they're comparing him to Damian Lillard.
So you're saying you might have a potential McCollum-ish Lillard type.
Sexton can't shoot like the rest of them.
So then you're thinking more like Bradley Beal, John Wall. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not a bad combo.
No.
Only if Wall could stay healthy.
Slip it on power chords where we're at home.
Lord.
Excuse me, I apologize.
That was aggressive.
Oh, so here's a little fun. One more fact that I want to know if he knows. So, what was I going to say? Duke players. Okay, you're a Duke fan, right?
Yeah.
How many, if you had to guess, how many Duke players have been drafted number 1 overall?
Can I ballpark it?
You can give me as close or as...
1, maybe 2, right?
That's it?
Yeah.
You only think that many?
Yeah.
I was surprised. It's 3. When you think Duke basketball, I figured they'd have a bunch of them.
and I hate to say this, I really do. Like I said, Duke fan. Duke players don't really transition well to the NBA. There's a lot more busts from Duke than there are.
Yeah, I can see that. I just felt like
for every JJ Redick, you have like 4 or 5 just scrubs.
Don't throw JJ Redick's name in there like he's some sort of superstar. Don't do that.
You wouldn't take him on your team if you were a GM and he wanted to play for you?
Do I have an established team? Am I building something? Because if I'm building,
JJ Redick coming off the bench, dog.
For who?
Say you have a championship contender and you're a shooter away.
100%. If I'm rebuilding the Hawks, I'm not taking JJ Redick.
No. JJ, you're only taking JJ Redick right now if you're a contender, but you need one more piece to push you over the edge.
Okay, but you were like, well, for every JJ Redick.
I'm saying that's the first Duke player that's good in the NBA that came to my mind.
But what about Grant Hill? He was good.
Okay, but he got hurt.
Hey, where did Vince Carter go?
North Carolina.
Oh, my bad.
Two of the best shooting guards of all. Well, the best shooting guard of all time, and arguably top 10. Hey, speaking of, let's talk about this for a second.
Whoa.
You wouldn't throw Vince Carter in the top 10 shooting
No,
guards
but
of
what
all
did you
time?
say before that? Did you say
Michael
arguably?
Jordan.
Okay.
That's why I said arguably. I said 2 of the arguably, and I said, whoa, the best. And then another one was arguably in the top 10.
Came from, okay. I apologize. I was confused. I thought we were going to have to fight live on air.
You're just...
start punching.
I'm pulling my hair.
But anyway, I thought this number seemed just low to me. I don't know why. It's like, if you had to guess how many Alabama players get drafted in the first round every year, you'd say 15.
Alabama's the same way, though.
What?
Yeah.
No.
How many running backs do they pump out that don't do anything? For every Derrick Henry, there's like 8 Trent Richardsons.
Okay. That 8
Bo
is
Scarborough,
aggressive.
where's he at?
Mark Ingram.
Okay, Mark Ingram? Really?
He's good.
Nah, he's subpar. He's not that great. That's why they've always had another one to go with him.
Always?
Always.
I'll
Darren
wait.
Sproles.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah,
Right,
Alvin
right.
Kamara. I mean, don't get me wrong. Reggie Bush. Like, they've always had a 2-hit combo.
Hey, do you remember when Reggie Bush? Listen,
Do you remember
one of my
when Reggie
favorite
Bush
hey.
was Reggie Bush?
Yeah, in like USC days, rough times.
Name another.
Darren McFadden.
No, name a better college running back.
I just did.
No, you didn't.
Darren.
How many national championships was Darren McFadden a part of?
Look, hey.
How many times did he pull off
Name a
gross
better
stuff?
Name a better type of ice cream than Reggie Bush. Look, I don't know. I was trying to distract you.
Hunka burning fudge.
Oh my god! All right,
that's a Avengers Endgame reference for you. If you didn't, no.
You mean the hashtag
Infinity War?
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
I was about to say some blasphemy. I apologize.
No, never mind. It is because he eats it in Infinity War or Endgame. Anyway, go ahead.
Who cares about Endgame?
First of all,
hashtag only re-releasing to make more money than Avatar.
Hashtag tell me. So did Avatar. They were in theaters for like 6 months.
Oh my god!
And nobody cares about that crap movie.
You know who was?
You want to talk about another crap movie? Since we're on this, since I already broke everyone's heart about Rocky, Avatar's crap.
Okay.
Avatar's crap. It's Blue Pocahontas. Fight me.
I don't want to fight you. I enjoy the movie.
It's trash.
I think it's fun.
Unobtainium. That's all I'll say. Next topic.
I didn't say it was well named.
Next topic.
I liked it.
It's trash.
Hey, you know what? Let's talk about trash for a minute. How many references are you gonna shove in my face for 2.5 hours? I'll wait.
Are you talking about Endgame?
Yes.
It did get a little old.
Every 30 seconds it was, oh, hey, remember this thing from 2012? Hey, remember this thing from...
If there's any South Park fans out there just spilling out with member berries. Oh, I mean, B. Yeah. I get it. I get it.
It took me out of it. And especially, okay, so listen, spoilers for Avengers Endgame. If you haven't seen the movie, please pause for the next minute.
It's June. Stop. If you haven't seen it.
Listen, the climax, everything's happening at once. All the people are coming back. And Falcon pages into Captain America. Hey, Cap, on your left. And then garbage. Do you know how much better that would have been if I didn't hear 20,000 other bullshit callbacks for the rest of that movie?
That would have been good if it had been solo by itself.
If that would have been the only... I'll be on the hype train. But because it was the 20th callback, I couldn't handle it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is also the same guy that tried to put Avatar as one of the best movies of all time.
It is.
No, it's terrible.
Tell you more. It's the highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah, because people... You literally went and watched... Is it a beautiful movie? For its time? Hands down. Take that away. Take away what it looked like and tell me more about the story.
I like the story.
The story was terrible.
Okay, yes, Unobtainium is not a good name, but you have to look past that.
No, and what? And look at what? The most stereotypical story of all time. A bunch of white people coming in and taking stuff away from people that aren't white. God. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, Doc. Tell me I'm wrong.
So if he would have cast the bad guy...
You had a bunch of white dudes and Michelle Rodriguez who ends up switching over to the other side. Tell me more, Doc. I'm listening.
Are you? Because you keep talking.
I'm trying to listen.
Okay. So if the main bad guy was black, it would have been better.
No, but I'm just... We can't make him black.
Why?
Because you already made him white. It's fine.
Okay, no, that's not the point. The point is that's a stupid argument.
It's because it's a stupid movie.
Oh, the white people come. Shut the. It's a movie.
I'm saying you literally took history and applied it to a movie. That's what you did.
How else do you make stuff?
Come up with your own ideas.
Tell me more about good versus evil in every movie ever.
Tell me why if Avatar's so good.
Every movie ever's already been done.
Tell me why if Avatar's so good, it's taken him 14,000 years to put out a sequel.
Because they were so above and beyond to make it.
Because it took him that long to write that shit movie. Oh. Imagine how long it's going to take him to write 2 more shit movies.
Listen, I agree. I don't care about it. I cared when they first talked about it, but that was 5 years ago.
When I was sat in theater, I watched that movie in theaters because I was like, this movie's going to be dope. His war... It's blue people doing blue stuff.
And they're flying on dragons.
They put their tails in everything. And they're fighting about unobtainium. And I couldn't even get over unobtainium. Okay, when this man with a straight face says, we're here for unobtainium. And then nobody else was looking at him and said, what did you just say? Nobody said that. Nobody was like, wait, what are we here for? I'm leaving.
Okay.
Screw this war. Screw these blue people. I'm leaving.
Look, I get your critiquing of the movie. But the problem I have, folks, is this man hates every movie ever.
I will give you that.
He can't... When I go to a movie theater, I go and I suspend disbelief.
Listen, you spend hard-earned money on the Fast and the Furious franchise.
I love them. I love them.
All trash. For a while, I thought they were literally making it so Paul Walker could make a living.
Oh my God.
And then when he passed away, I was like, they're done, right? And then like 14 more came out. And now you're literally just pumping out side projects. Hobbs and Shaw is gonna be terrible because they're all terrible.
Listen, stop. It is.
I love The Rock. I love Dwayne Johnson, but he makes some god-awful movies.
Some of his movies are bad.
Some?
They're not.
Baywatch, Skyscraper.
Have you seen
all of the Fast and the Furious movies
No.
that he's been
Have
a part
you
of?
seen them?
I don't have to. Skyscraper, he's got a fake leg. I don't have to hear that shit. Listen, Dwayne, if you hear me, I love you. I've loved you since you were The Rock. I love you. But you make terrible movies.
First of all,
Terrible movies.
Have you ever seen The Rundown?
Yeah, okay. Early on, he made great movies. And then just shit after shit. He has an occasional gem. Jumanji was great, but it wasn't because of him. It was literally because of Jack Black.
100%.
Jack Black made that movie. Kevin Hart, okay, I'm going to say this. People aren't going to like it. I don't really like him.
A lot of people don't.
His stand-up comedy is garbage now. It is literally the same. You're little, you don't like to fight, and you treat your women like crap. We get it. He didn't cheat on his pregnant wife with a woman.
Hey.
I'm just saying. Don't defend Kevin Hart.
You're going too far into the abyss here. Look.
Let's wrap it around.
Start back. Okay.
Okay.
Are we back? Okay.
We're back.
The Rock makes good movies.
No,
They're
he
funny.
doesn't. He makes trash.
He's funny.
Tell me more about Baywatch.
Listen, in Fast and Furious 7, he rock bottomed a bad guy, and it was awesome.
He also rock bottomed somebody in Jumanji. He rock bottomed somebody in The Rundown. He rock bottomed somebody in Walking Tall.
Exactly.
He rock bottoms people because The Rock just rock bottoms people.
And you don't get a little excited every time?
Yeah, unless it's Fast and the Furious.
You haven't even seen them all.
Let me guess. They're driving around. They're bad guys, but they're
folks,
not
this is what I'm
really
saying.
bad guys.
He hates everything.
No, I hate stupid movies.
No.
Listen, you shit all over Episode 8, right? When
Episode 8 is trash.
we
can't do this. We can't.
I'm not saying Episode 8.
We will talk about movies for the next 6 hours.
I'm not saying Episode 8 is a great movie, but at least it tried to do something besides literally doing episodes 4 and 5 over again.
I agree.
You know what was really cool?
jeez.
The Death Star. You know what would be cooler? If the Death
Planet?
Star was like 4 times as big because we don't have an original idea in our body. Because we just want to live off member berries for the rest of our life.
Look, fine. Here's my problem.
Let's-
No. Look, I understand what you're saying about the remake that 7 rehashed a lot of old ideas. I understand that. I agree with it.
Right.
That's fine.
Okay.
I still enjoyed the movie. It still made me want to be back in
like
Star
it.
Wars.
I like it too. Yeah, I agree.
So here's my problem. Episode 8 took everything we know about Star Wars and just flushed it down. He completely disregarded the last movie, Episode 7. He completely
Good.
disregarded
You
it.
should have.
No.
Yeah.
But
Because it shouldn't have existed the way in its context. It didn't have an original thought in its body at all. It had no original thought. It literally took what was already there and was like, hey, you guys remember all this stuff? You remember it all? Hey, you can't just go back and rewatch them. We're going to show you everything else again.
You just said you still enjoyed the movie.
I did.
Okay, so stop right there.
Because of nostalgia. How many things in life do you enjoy just because of nostalgia? Go back and try some school lunches. And tell me how.
I'll go eat a school lunch right now.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's just because I'm a monster and I'll eat anything.
Anyway.
Look, no. Well, I'm not done. We're talking about Episode 8 now. You've opened up a can of words.
Weren't we talking about sports and then we just...
At one point,
here's
25 minutes
ago.
ago.
Here's the nerd part coming on.
There is a nerd. This is the Flexin nerd, and y'all signed up for this, so we hadn't done this yet. Listen, okay?
We made it to 4 episodes before we nerded
Before
out.
we really hit it hard. Episode 8 did... The only cool thing about Episode 8 was the
back-to-back?
No.
You didn't like the back-to-back? When her and Kylo
We'll
were
get
going
to
at
that.
it?
We'll get to that.
I was going to say.
When they actually went silent and she light speeded through the ship.
That was dope.
That was the coolest shot I've ever seen in a movie ever. Like I actually gasped.
You want to know how I knew the movie wasn't going to be that great?
When you turned it on and Ryan Johnson was the director?
That too. When Luke threw the lightsaber over his
Do
shoulder.
you know how, pardon my French, fucking blasphemous that is?
Here's the thing, and I didn't pay attention to anything that Mark Hamill had said before, just because I want to form my own opinion.
Sure.
And if Luke tells you he doesn't like it, you're gonna be like, I'm not going to go see it.
Sure.
So I watched it, and I knew that there was gonna be problems.
As soon as he...
I'm
sitting there...
7 set you up.
Yeah, and you are excited.
What you should have done instead of that was you literally could have had Luke not touch it.
If he doesn't, there's 1,000 other things you could do. 1,000 other things.
Did you hear how it was supposed to, how 8 was supposed to start?
No.
How 8 was supposed to start was she found him, and so you know how Han just died.
Yeah.
The Luke was supposed to be sitting there and not doing anything, and this boulders were floating around him because he was so angry that Han had died. The Force was just, coming off of him, and he was just making things happen without trying. That would have been... I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. That would have been so amazing.
You know how much better that is?
You know what they did, though?
Yeah.
They shit all over it.
So listen.
I'm not saying 8 is a great movie. I'm not. I'm really not. The longer it's been out, and the more I think about it, the less I like it.
And see, here's the thing.
But I will say... I appreciate him at least trying different things.
Okay, so I have 2 thoughts. Remind me, one of them is about Endgame. So, with the Star Wars thing, though you said the longer it's been out. So, when I first watched it, I was medium. I was like, it was a Star Wars movie, so I was excited.
Yeah.
And the more, I watched it 3 times in theaters. The first time, because excitement. The second time was like, I want to see it again. I don't think I like this. Maybe... And then it got worse.
Yeah.
So
that's actually how episode 7
and
was.
My wife and my mom and my brother were like, you liked it when it came out. Like, how come my opinion changed over time?
You sit on it, and the more you think about it.
And the throne room scene was cool. I don't like how nothing happened with Snoke.
Snoke's not dead, so that's why.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's really not. He's literally doing what Luke did. It's fine. Look, it's fine. It's not Palpatine you heard in there. You think it's Palpatine, but it's not Palpatine.
It's Palpatine.
I'll put money on it that Palpatine doesn't show up in episode 9.
I don't know who Palpatine is.
I will put money on Palpatine doesn't show up in 9.
How much?
$5.
Deal. We're shaking on it right now, folks. Okay,
he
$5.
doesn't show up.
Okay.
Doesn't show up.
Whatever. That's fine. Listen, I
didn't
like the throne room. The whole gambling.
Can we? Yeah, that whole shit.
Garbage.
Everything with Finn
Can go. And the girl Rose.
Yeah. Listen, you want to know what I wanted them to do with Finn?
Make him the Jedi?
Please! Seriously.
But okay, look.
You even hint at it in 7 when he picks up the lightsaber. Did he get his ass whooped by Kylo?
Yeah.
Yes. Should Rey have? Yes. That's a totally different story. Even with Kylo hurt in all his training, he should have been able to murk Rey.
No. Look,
yes.
Here's the explanation as to why, and it makes sense why.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No.
So,
He got
Snoke's...
shot. Okay, cool.
No, I'm giving you the actual in-universe reason, okay? Snoke said, darkness rises and light to meet it. So as strong as Kylo got, that's why Rey got so strong, because she was like Anakin from the Force.
It's not because she's a Mary Sue and she can't lose.
I'm giving you the in-universe reason.
And I'm giving you the actual reason.
In-universe reason.
Okay, if that's true, she could be as strong as him. That doesn't mean she's gone through the training that he has. Hey, remind me, who trained Kylo Ren in the beginning when he was first starting out?
Oh, Luke. Who tried to kill Kylo?
Who?
Tell me more about your Luke now.
Okay, do you blame him? He saw him turning into the dark side.
He saved his own father.
And his mom, actually. And his mom. Which is why Kylo's coming back to the light.
We're talking about Luke tried to save Darth Vader.
You're right.
Killed the younglings, Darth Vader.
Did I say 8 was good? No, I just said it tried different things.
Yeah, and they're all bad. So it can't be good.
No, it changes.
And you know what else bugs the absolute crap out of me? That people were like, at the end of the movie, when the little boy force pulls the broom
that was the
towards him.
Stupidest thing of all time. I still don't think 8 is the worst Star Wars movie they've ever made, though.
Number 1.
Number 1, and Han Solo was terrible.
Han Solo wasn't terrible.
No, Han Solo was terrible.
Han Solo wasn't terrible.
Han Solo. The only reason to watch the Solo story is literally for Darth Maul to show up in the end, because your little precious Daenerys, she's terrible as an actress. She's terrible in that movie. She's terrible.
Why are you throwing haymakers at me?
I know. I'm sorry, but she's terrible. She can't act. She's terrible. The guy that they got to play Han is terrible. The only
See, folks, this is what I'm talking about. He hates
Woody
hates
Harrelson
stuff.
is good, but even then, from a mile away, you could see that he was going to betray him. Not even from a mile away, from a galaxy away. You're like,
hate
he's clearly
everything,
going to
though.
turn on him. And then the girl, anybody, I can't even remember what her name was in that. Anybody could have knew that. Oh, you're going to betray Han too. Like anybody, everyone. You're like, oh, this story is dumb.
Okay.
The only thing that was cool was to see how him and Chewie got together and Darth Maul showing up.
Look. You don't like things. I can go to a movie and suspend belief and just enjoy what I'm watching.
I can suspend belief if it's believable.
That is a contradictory sentence.
If it's a believable way to suspend belief, like
No, I go watch Fast and Furious movies because
Exactly.
cars go fast and
Tell
they
me
blow
more
up.
about how he drove from one building to another, and that the tires would
See,
get out of here.
this is suspending
No,
belief.
suspending
It's fun.
belief. Tell me more about Ronda Rousey. Period.
Look, I love the Fast and Furious movies.
want her.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I enjoy watching
I want that franchise to burn.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go watch it. And Hobbs and Shaw, have you seen the trailers for that monstrosity?
Yeah, and I giggled myself to sleep at how stupid it looks.
It's going to be so bad, and I'm going to love every minute
See,
of
at least you admit that it's bad. I'll give
I
you
know.
that. I'll
I'm
give
not.
you that.
Again, I've never touted that they are good movies. I tout that I enjoy to watch them.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
My second thought was
shit
about
on- yeah,
Endgame. Not shit on. Just so what made me think of it was when they handed Luke the lightsaber and he threw it and the audience laughed. It pissed me off.
Yeah, but you can't allow
But
what the audience
but
does.
I understand. But it takes you out of it.
Yeah.
And Luke, first of all, should not have thrown the lightsaber. We already discussed that. But when he did, and the audience was like, "Haha, that's funny."
That was him grabbing Star Wars. Like that literally showed you everything you needed to know about Rian Johnson's
thought
movie.
of Star Wars.
Movie. No, just the movie in general.
Now,
It's like, here, everything that you love, right
So
here,
look,
you see it? I'm throwing it to
but
these little
Rian
ugly
Johnson's
things.
gonna make his own.
Nope, they took it away.
Really?
Yep, thank God. That's high five.
All right, but I think I would have. I hope you can hear that high five. I would have watched it because it would have been his own bullshit, and he wouldn't have been shitting on everything else I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
So I might have liked that. The part I believe it's in, it's Avengers right at the beginning when he cuts off Thanos' head, and he's like, "I aim for the head," and he walked
laughed?
out. They laughed.
See,
and
we talked about this when the movie came in. You can't.
Yes, I can.
You literally cannot fault the movie for the audience.
No, but the audience.
See, this is what I'm saying, because we had two different theater experiences. Because when I watched it, silence. Like,
That's
people
how-
were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's dead."
That's how it. Okay, yes, it's supposed to be silence, and they're supposed to be like, "Ooh, that's how it's supposed to be." But my problem is that I know maybe I shouldn't let it bother me the way I feel about the movie, but it does. It leaves it tainted the moment.
Yeah, I understand that, because I've had that before where the audience can ruin it for you. But at the same time, like, that's not the movie's fault. It's the audience's fault. I agree with you, though. If I'd have been in the theaters and somebody would have laughed at that, I'd have been shitty too. Because that's not at all a funny moment.
They didn't want to go
That
for
is
that.
literally an all is lost moment.
Yeah.
And literally, the only reason that he said that was because he brought it full circle. Because Thanos says,
You should
Should've
have
aimed for
And
the head.
not only that is what he was thinking about for the last 30 days or however long the
Oh,
time
yeah, I
gap
don't remember.
was.
I don't
It was 30 days or 3 months or something. That's all he had thought about the whole time was if I'd only aimed for the head, we wouldn't be here, and I would keep half the population alive, and all this stuff. It's been eating up this whole time, and he finally gets it, and it's too late. It doesn't matter anymore. And it was a devastating thing. He didn't say it from a place of happiness. He said it from a place of hurt.
or not only that, but like a finality.
Right, like we're done.
At least I killed you type thing.
Like, and I understand why they made Thor fat. Okay,
You know, he pushed for that to keep that, right? Chris Hemsworth.
that doesn't make it okay.
No, I mean, but I get it. Depression, I get it.
I
He literally just went from
my whole thing is
the God of Thunder to the God of Depression.
I get what they're portraying and what the whole thought process behind it is.
Yeah.
I don't care that he wasn't buff. Okay? My problem is that you could have shown how hurt he was and made it more impactful instead of trying to be funny.
Yeah, but then again, like, I think it would just be the shock factor that made it funny.
But
Because when do they ever actually try to make it funny?
no,
Besides from the original, like, seeing him.
you see it
But then again, like, what? This is the thing about depression, and I think this is what they were trying to portray. There is no physical sign of depression. So what way can you depict depression?
don't make him laugh and happy and talking about
No.
I'm gonna be the God of Thunder and the kid on the Xbox gamer thing. It's stupid.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay, so that's.
But then again, like, yeah, it's building off with what Thor Ragnarok did.
I hated Thor Ragnarok.
See, I didn't.
One of the worst movies they made.
No bullshit.
100%.
No.
Yes.
Better than both Ant-Man movies.
No. Incorrect.
Yeah, no. Better than both Ant-Man movies. Better than Guardians 2. Guardians 2 was trash.
I 100% agree. I didn't like Guardians 2 either. You know why? Same reason I didn't like Thor Ragnarok. They tried too hard to be funny.
Yeah.
The thing that movies, sequels do this all the time. You have stuff that people love. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Drax is so hilarious. Let's give him 18,000 one-liners.
It's literally what they did with I never watched it, but I think it was you that told me. Like Pitch Perfect 2.
Fat Amy in the first Pitch Perfect movie, hilarious. Had me rolling sometimes.
Pitch Perfect was a pretty decent movie, and I'm not even into that type of crap.
You know what? I appreciate you saying that, because that's respectful. The second one is literally half the movie is Fat Amy.
That's
and the stupid kid from
I want to watch
Garbage.
What kid?
The mean boy leader from the other acapella.
Yeah, you know about
Spencer or some
the one
shit.
that wouldn't let the dude in.
Yeah, and then they brought him in. Yeah, that little shit guy. He's from another MTV show.
No, it's from Workaholics.
That's that guy. Him and Fat Amy have a thing, and they're in the
they had it in the first
them.
one. Yeah, that's
right.
stupid.
It's garbage.
Anyway,
Guardians
Endgame.
2. Okay, so Endgame. Thor. I understand the showing the signs. Here's a. How about this? An in-universe reason why it doesn't make any sense. Do you remember in Captain America when his best friend died and he was trying to get drunk and he couldn't get drunk because his body processed it?
Yeah.
You're telling me the God of Thunder can get fat? How?
I mean, I'll give that to you, but like I said, I don't think they went that far. I literally think they wanted to show depression.
But you just said it has to make sense, and it doesn't make sense.
I'll give that to you. I didn't write the movie, you know that, right? If I'd have wrote it, it'd have been a totally different movie.
But
if I wrote a lot of movies, it'd be
again,
be different.
We have this conflict. You and a lot of other people, Endgame is the greatest movie of all time.
No. It's the greatest movie I've seen in a while.
Okay, you've changed your tune, because when you first saw it, you were up there. Now, anyway, what I'm saying, I do not dislike Endgame. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it could have been so much better if you would have done things
There's certain things that I'm going to watch Guardians 3, but I'm not excited about it.
Can I tell you this? The guys from the Marvel were talking about getting Keanu Reeves. If he plays Adam Warlock, I'll watch it.
Only if they make Adam Warlock as badass as he is. See, this is the only thing I don't understand. Adam Warlock is directly connected to the Soul Stone in the comics. So how are you going to do that?
They just won't make it
I don't think.
take it out.
They've done things that aren't. Anyway,
the other thing I don't want to say dislike.
Here's the thing. Before you go on there,
sure.
I think the reason that they made Thor Ragnarok the way they did was because how trash. I forgot that is the worst movie of all of them.
That is the worst, for sure.
It is and what about it is terrible?
It's just bad.
It's
the pacing, the color.
It's focused way too much on Natalie Portman.
Hey, you can never have too much focus on Natalie Portman.
You did in Thor 2.
You telling me you'd rather look at someone else?
Yeah. Pick a name. So, listen,
So they were trying to make up for Thor 2?
Yeah, I think they literally went... They saw... It's a culmination of two things. They saw the success of Guardians 1 and Guardians 2, and they saw how bad Dark World
my
was.
Question to you, sir...
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I think that's what it was.
But my question to you is, how... Your cynical self, how can you go watch a movie where Thor is, in the first part, talking to a skeleton... He's like, the first part of that movie, he's talking to a skeleton for a little bit, like having a conversation with it. And then he falls down, and he's dangling from that chain, and the big bad guy's standing there, and he's like, oh, wait, I gotta come back around to you. Oh, hold on. And garbage. How do you not hate that?
I didn't like it.
But that's the kind of stuff you shit on other movies for.
See, this is the thing, though.
Are you blinded by Marvel love? Is that what it is?
No.
A little bit.
No, absolutely not. Of the MCU? Absolutely. Show me something.
I can't.
Show me something that rivals it.
I can't. It doesn't exist. Exactly. It's the first one ever. And
our favorite superheroes, mine and yours, are in the other universe. And look at the dog shit pile they're pumping out.
Listen.
They're putting out a Pennyworth movie.
They are not.
Yes, they are.
Oh, my God.
They're literally putting out an Alfred. For those of you who don't know who Pennyworth is, Alfred Pennyworth is
the butler.
Batman's butler. And he's getting a movie.
Listen.
Oh, no. Joker's getting his own movie, which isn't even a part of the DCU. No. It's just a separate thing, which means Joaquin Phoenix, who would make an excellent Joker, I'm saying that now, isn't going to be in a Batman movie because he's his own entity. And then you got Birds of Prey and all this other crap. We don't even have a Batman. Well, I mean, we do. I don't want to talk about it. Shut up. And listen, if they don't have him take his shirt off and it doesn't sparkle, they messed up.
Look, okay, so I keep wanting to say listen because it's what we do. The DCEU, okay, the DCEU universe. What they did was they saw what Marvel did
they tried to catch up.
They took a big 12-gauge needle and tried to mainline that.
So
garbage.
first of all, you have a Batman versus Superman movie, but you don't have a solo Ben Affleck movie, Batman movie first. Stupid. Second of all, and you know how I feel about Superman. I don't like him.
But no, you hate Superman.
I hate Superman, and it's nothing to do. It's too much. Like there's never a fight with him, minus with Batman, of course. That you're like, oh my god, how is Superman ever gonna accomplish? No, never, never, ever, 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 never,
That's
ever,
why
ever,
he's
never.
the best.
Like he can 1v1. That's why it's boring. Like at least like Batman, the Joker beating him is 1,000% a possibility, because even with Batman's detective skills, the what's the word I'm looking for? I can't. The randomness, the chaotic nature of the Joker. You can't predict
So
it.
you love Batman because the Joker is such a good villain.
I love Batman because he has good villains. Name one good Superman villain. Legit Superman villain.
Lex Luthor.
No. No. Try again.
Brainiac.
No.
Dark
Try
Side.
again. No.
What's wrong with
Darkseid is not a Superman villain. He is a Justice League villain. Not a Superman villain.
Excuse me, sir.
Just because it ends up being Superman versus Darkseid.
Hey, do you even hear
No.
yourself?
You know who my favorite Superman villain is?
Makes no
Doomsday. You want to know why?
Because he killed him?
Yep.
He didn't die, though.
Listen, we're getting off topic. The fact
Yeah, we
that the
could do-
DCEU the way they messed up was they tried to cram
Too much.
everything. The fact that you introduce your big three
In one
movie.
Bad.
And Wonder Woman is a great character.
Yes.
Like she's a great character. Not obviously I'm not a fan just because she's like on the same pedestal as Superman to me. She's just like she's overpowered. Nothing against her. I like her. I like Gal Gadot. Whatever you say. She's good. Although she could be a little more buff. Like she doesn't look like she could do anything. Like her,
Gal Gadot beat my ass.
It's unrealistic. Anyway, you introduce her, and she's not even an ancillary character. She's like barely there.
And then all of a sudden,
she's showing up.
Okay, so my thing is,
How do you have a Batman versus Superman before a Justice League?
But like, here's the thing, that too. The way they should have set it up was you had Superman, right?
Can we build a DCEU first?
Let's do it real quick, right now.
Can we do it?
Right now.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel is
That's your
good.
starter.
It's an okay starting point.
Batman movie. Wonder Woman
movie.
Then you do Batman versus Superman.
Justice League movie.
No. Then you do Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
I take back what I said about having Justice League before Batman versus Superman. You have Batman versus Superman because then Batman realizes that Superman isn't evil.
Correct.
He's fine.
And then, but we write that movie differently than they do.
Oh, for sure. You take Zack Snyder and you throw him in a well.
and listen, there's no water at the bottom of that well,
Batman versus
folks.
Superman, and then you kind of hint at Flash or Cyborg.
And
I definitely don't think you give a Flash movie. I definitely don't think you make a Cyborg movie. Maybe like another movie like where there's start heading towards it. Because I'm sorry, Flash was a good idea for a TV show.
Yeah,
Flash would make a good movie.
Can we talk about how the Flash runs? I don't
like it.
It's why does he run like that?
I do like Ezra Miller as Flash.
Fine, great pick. Why does he run like that?
Yeah, he looks like he's skating.
Flash doesn't run like that.
He's skating.
No,
Stop skating. Stop skating.
Okay. Wait. Listen.
So I think then you probably do like a Man of Steel 2.
You sure?
Where they start going towards the Justice League. Maybe Superman realizes, oh crap, I can't do all this by myself.
I need a hand. Yeah.
Or maybe, for instance, you do a Batman where he realizes we need a team.
Right.
So then you start heading, and then you get a Green Lantern movie so that you establish outside.
Yeah.
And then you do a Justice League movie.
And now this is spread out over years. So here's the problem.
You don't jam pack everything into 5 seconds.
Not only do they jam pack it, but the Marvel EU is going to end at some point, right?
No.
Not
until they have to.
But after Endgame, it's not as hype. We can agree on that.
I don't know where you go from. There's only one way you can go in this universe.
Right. Okay,
it's
fine.
Galactus, right?
He's too big. I think he's too big.
Either that or you do Doom.
They're going to do alternate universes.
There's a rumor, by the way. I know you hinted at it earlier that they're re-releasing it.
They are.
There's a rumor that they threw in end credit scene Which, if they do that,
There's 6 bonus minutes of
if they do
footage.
that, they ruin the movie. You don't need an end credit scene in Endgame.
I agree.
If they do, I'm gonna be mad.
Anyway, back to the DC thing.
So are we still building the universe?
Yes, but here's my thing. So after Endgame, it slows down at least.
They blew their load on Doomsday.
Quick as hell. So what you do is you
You should
space
have
it
never
out.
seen Doomsday. Doomsday should have been in Man of Steel 2.
Correct. And that's where Justice League comes from,
Yep.
Man of Steel 2. And then you get a Justice League movie, and it can still be Steppenwolf, can still be your bad
And
guy.
you can still have Superman dead.
Correct.
That's it, though. That's all you take from that. That's all you take.
Right. It's Man of Steel being dead.
Yeah.
And my thing is that you
Because him
space this
coming
out to where your movies still come out after the Marvel movies end.
Here's the thing about
Because you rushed it all in
the DCEU.
too fast.
Yeah,
There are 22 Marvel movies.
The death of theirs was letting Henry Cavill leave.
I'm never going to see another Superman movie.
Listen, I literally said it just a little bit ago. Not a Superman fan. However, in the Justice League movie, the only part worth watching is when he 1v5 someone.
The whole Justice League.
He sits there and he's got Cyborg, Aquaman, which I don't. This is gonna break some hearts. I don't like Momoa as Aquaman. I think he sucks. I literally think it's Momoa with a trident. It is literally
think it's
eye candy
Aquaman?
for women. That is it. It is literally the equivalent of Gal Gadot if you find her attractive.
Okay, but like,
No, it
Why?
is not
He's
Aquaman.
fun.
That's not okay. Who cares?
do you want the boring
What
blonde
was Aquaman before that?
garbage?
That's what he should be, because he's garbage. Aquaman, go talk to a starfish
No.
and shut up in the corner.
They
If
wanted
we
to-
need a fight in the ocean, we'll call you, but until then, go sit in your
They
throne.
wanted to make him cool.
He's not. Tell me more about the movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Was it good?
I can't say it.
Wonder Woman was the only passable movie, and that was dumb. I didn't like Wonder Woman.
Why didn't you like it?
Because it turned into a love story.
Thank you.
She couldn't just want to save the world. She had to save. She
she
had to
did- no,
fall
no,
in love with
she
the world
was
because
save-
she fell in love with one dude. Go yourself. I hate it. Why does everything have to be a love story? Anyway,
hey,
Wonder
have you-
Woman was it 1984? Calling it now. It's gonna be
Garbage.
just as bad as the rest of them. I'm not gonna see. No, we have not even talked about the worst movie in the DCEU, Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Okay, look, I'm a Will Smith fan.
I love Will Smith.
Kinda.
I love Will Smith.
It really goes to show you that Will Smith can play one of two characters. He can either play the depressed guy, like from Pursuit of Happiness, or he can play the smart-ass wisecracker like he does in Bad Boys. That is it. Name another... Seriously,
You're right.
you can't. So,
He is a
terrible...
good-
No, terrible Deadshot. Terrible.
The only thing making
Because
that movie watchable was Will
The whole movie was badly cast. Name one person that was cast well in that.
Smith. Margot Robbie.
No. It's
The
because
only
she
two
was
good-
eye candy. And
no.
even then, not really.
She is a good...
No.
She...
Tell me more about her character arc in there. Well, all she did was just make wisecracks the whole time.
Tell me more about Harley Quinn as a person.
She's...
How
how much time you got?
Batman. Listen.
What-
Okay.
here's what
I didn't... Suicide Squad was... meh.
Terrible.
It was meh.
terrible.
It was
Tell
meh.
me more about Jared Leto.
He wasn't even in the movie.
Dude, what do you know about Suicide Squad as a whole? Like, outside
I
of
can
the
tell
movie?
you this.
Outside... You know
Nothing.
why they're put together?
Yes.
To go get the Joker. To stop him.
Oh. Well, no, I didn't know that.
What do they do in this movie?
They go save the world?
From one of their own.
Yeah. A dusty old
Enchantress.
witch. Yeah. Enchantress.
And her little boyfriend brother thing. 'Cause
Brother.
It felt way more deep than a brother, didn't it? She was in love with her brother. Anyway,
What are you talking? Oh, you talking about the other guy?
yeah,
You
the
said
one that dies because when she's gonna blow the whole world up because he dies. Well, yeah, that's what you get.
Okay, anyway.
The whole. Tell me more about
The
BET
only-
Killer Croc.
I'll tell you.
Killer Croc
Okay,
is supposed to be
that one-
huge.
that one got me.
It
That
was
one got me.
literally just a dude, just a crocodile that wanted to be black.
Okay, you got me there. My favorite part is when they give him the gun, and he's like, "Y'all wouldn't give me a live round," and he fires it, and he's like,
Okay, there are
"That
I don't
whole
know-
scene, that 30
I don't
second
mean to
scene."
take like I just don't think Will Smith was fit for what Deadshot's supposed to be.
Let me
I have ideas of what these characters are
Let me
supposed
ask
to
you
be,
this.
and none of them worked for me.
Fine. Let me ask you this: would you go see the movie if Will Smith wasn't in it?
No,
Okay.
but because I didn't have any hope for it. You know what ruined hope for me? Jared Leto as the Joker.
Anyway, my thing is, I love Will Smith, and
I do too.
His that scene in that movie, it makes it worth watching.
Yeah,
that, up until that point. After that, you can turn it off.
Decent moments, like
yeah.
Him as Will Smith. If you like Will Smith, you're gonna like him
for sure.
But like I felt like as Deadshot, not great.
I can agree with that.
Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. If they let her act, sure.
You're correct.
She's a good actress. You didn't let her act. You know what you later did? Put those short shorts on and make stupid comments the whole movie. That's all you did. Like you sniffed at Harley Quinn because she's obsessed with the Joker. But other than that, like you know what I made? Here's the mistake I made. I was like, okay, maybe they cut out a lot of stuff. So I bought the extended director's cut, thinking it's going to be better. It's worse.
Really?
It's worse. You have more. See, here's the thing. There are girls out there. There
are.
That are obsessed with the relationship between the Joker and Harley Quinn.
It's not.
They're like, oh, this is the relationship that's what you want. You want a verbally, physically, emotionally abusive husband. Because if you want that, throw a rock. You could find one anywhere.
Yeah, no, people who say they want a relationship like Joker and Harley Quinn are delusional.
They don't know. They see the scene of them dancing. Okay, that's a beautiful. That is for a nanosecond.
And then he punched her in the face.
Before the wind blows. Yeah, and then he smacks her across the room and calls her stupid. Like the level of manipulation.
Name that? They didn't get that?
Oh, they got that. They literally they show you the little scene between them. Like there's a little more of that in the extended cut. And all I saw was you're literally just trying to give background to Harley Quinn. But if you're watching a Suicide Squad movie and you don't know anything about Harley Quinn, why are you here?
I see what you're saying. We are a long way.
I don't even remember how we got here. But anyway, let's just rewind it back a little bit.
Talk about Endgame one more time.
Let's talk about Endgame, and then I should wrap this up because it's getting a little long.
I got more stuff to cover, folks.
Oh, well, then let's wrap it up and let's get back to the flexing part of this podcast.
Of the nerd part.
Sorry if you guys weren't here for the nerd part, but we just slapped you with
it. We full on
dropped a pile of bricks.
So our DCEU is good. Would be better. I think you space it out.
I've built this universe. How much time do you have? I could make a whole podcast on the DCEU.
I just wish they would have. The thing that made Marvel amazing
was the pacing.
The pacing and the time they put into everything.
And they literally even came out and said that after Endgame now they're going to go back to like one movie a year.
And that's
like,
great.
They were pumping out like 2 or 3 a year.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 1 or 2 a year.
You could have done one DC movie a year, made it worth watching.
Tell me more about the Aquaman movie, though, for real. I didn't even bother watching it. You want me to tell you?
I slept through 20 minutes.
I didn't even bother watching
it
because I knew it was going to suck because Jason Momoa sucks as Aquaman.
No, Jason Momoa is good. The movie.
Women were there to watch him take his shirt off. Dudes were there because they saw fucking flashing colors. Anyway, you want to talk about Endgame? That's what you're saying? That the MCU is great because of pacing?
The MCU
because it took us 10 years to get to Endgame.
I love that.
It took the DCU 3.
And that's the problem. That is the crux of the whole issue. In my last
point... The fact that you try to introduce Cyborg and Flash in the same movie is disgusting.
Yeah. At the end of... Anyway.
When you think Justice League, those are the two. Those are 2 of the, 5 or 5?
The main 5.
The only two you didn't... You should have just threw them all in there. You should have put Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter. You should just threw them all in there. Yes. You're just like, here, we give up. Hope this works.
My last problem with Endgame was in my personal opinion, Endgame stands in a separate category from every movie ever.
Yeah, it's different.
Because of the build-up and the stuff behind it. No other movie has 10 years you have to get through to watch. So, in my opinion...
You could watch it on its own, but it wouldn't mean as much to you.
It doesn't mean the same thing.
You could literally watch Infinity War
that was the other thing.
Don't say it.
What?
Are you going to say it?
What am I going to say?
You're going to say it. Go ahead.
One of the other nitpicks. The scene where all the girls are badass. Yeah. I get what you were going for, and I'm not saying girls can't be badass. And I enjoyed it. It was kind of hype. Except for it was like pandering to the max, and they just put it in your face.
Though, but take away Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel. Gamora's alright, but like...
Do you even remember who the rest of... Like, why is Pepper Potts there?
Was there? Well, because she's in the suit, though.
Yeah, she's in the suit. The blue suit that he made for it was cute. It was cool.
She's supposed to be the Iron Patriot.
But I don't like blatant, obvious, in your face,
pandering.
Just lay it on the table pandering. I don't like.
It's like Kevin Feige came out and said that there's going to be more open LGBTQ. I support that.
It's cool
if it's a natural thing.
It has to be natural.
Don't make a character gay just because you want him to make him gay.
Thank you.
That's stupid.
The scene is cool. I'm not shitting on the scene, and I'm not saying girl power. Listen, I love women. My wife's a strong lady. My mom's great. My aunt, they're all super powerful.
I support strong women, but just don't force it.
It was too obvious. It was just too.
Yeah. Look what we're doing.
Yeah.
Disney, we're ahead of the game.
We love our women. Like,
I get it.
I respect that.
Anyway,
I 100% respect it. It just took me out of the moment.
Yeah.
Let's all the way
back to sports.
Let's go back to flexing, okay? Flexing.
Yeah. Sorry if we lost you there.
The last little thing I want to cover, two things. The Green Bay head coach said Aaron Rodgers, not McCarthy, he got fired.
I forgot.
Matt LaFleur is his name. Said Aaron Rodgers is not going to have the ability to change plays at the line of scrimmage. He will be given an A and a B, and you pick between A and B and decide what you want to do.
Why?
That's how his offense works.
That's stupid.
I'm just telling you what he said.
Why wouldn't you one of the best quarterbacks in the league to be able to?
Aaron Rodgers came out and said that.
Try that with Peyton Manning when he was in Indianapolis. Try that with any quarterback that makes checks at the line. What
the coach came out and said was, since I've been running this offense in Houston way back when they had Matt Schaub, what was his exact quote? Something along the lines of, we've never had a quarterback ever really do that. Do you know what his quarterbacks? Who his quarterbacks were?
You just said Matt Schaub.
Matt Schaub, Mariota, garbage, basically. He's never had Aaron Rodgers as quarterback. So, of course, you've never let a quarterback
take a guy out of his element and control him like that.
I don't know.
Okay, then don't get mad when your offense sucks and you get fired after first year.
Already.
I think that goes away week 4, maybe, if it lasts that long.
Who do they play early in the season?
Who are you going to listen to? The coach or Aaron Rodgers? If you're wide receivers.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
You're going to make me look good by throwing me the ball? Bet. You call whatever you want.
Sure. If you're Matt LaFleur and you're taking that job, you throw the A and B out. You call a play. If Aaron doesn't like it, he can make one up in the spot.
I'm going to give you a list of plays, and whatever one you want to run, you run.
Just give him the playbook and let him run on the field. He'll call the plays.
So there's certain quarterbacks you don't really need offensive coordinators, per se?
For sure. Not necessarily, because Peyton Manning and his offensive coordinator are part of the reason it works so well.
Yeah, but that's because he listened to what Peyton had to say.
Correct.
This coach is just not doing that.
Correct.
He's literally coming in, kicking the door, and said, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to do things my way." And then Aaron Rodgers is like, "Yeah, but I already have a Super Bowl ring."
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't know why you would say.
I agree with you. He literally has never had a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers.
Not even close.
Upper echelon, like top.
Bro, he's never even had a mid-tier.
Yeah.
Matt Schaub?
Yeah, and Matt Schaub was hot for like 5 seconds. He had one good year, right?
Yeah, because he had Andre Johnson.
Yeah, and was Arian Foster there?
Yeah, he was balling out then too.
Okay, whatever.
That's a asinine thing to do.
It's easier to throw the ball when you have a running back you can give the ball to.
I agree.
It's football.
Is it? I thought it was soccer, you moron.
Well, it should be called soccer because the rest of the world calls soccer football, and that makes a lot of sense.
Because they play it with their feet?
Yeah.
We live in America where I drink beer and shoot fireworks whenever I want, and it's football.
First of all, American drinking is nothing compared to the rest of the world. We dumb down the alcohol content in all of our alcohol compared to everywhere else.
You know I don't drink.
Well, I don't either, but I'm not dumb enough and foolish enough to think that America knows what drinking is.
But I was just gonna go with the whole America thing.
America, so yeah, well, screw America.
Whoa!
I'm just kidding. Listen, I don't think drinking and shooting off fireworks makes you American.
Yes, it does.
No, going over and fighting about dumb stuff makes you American.
Huh.
Tell me more about what's going on in Iran right now.
We are not making a political podcast. We'll stop that right now.
False flags. Listen, go ahead.
My God.
Go ahead.
So that was just a little aside. So the last thing is, so my aunt actually talked to me about this O.J. Simpson Twitter account. Okay,
it's fake, right?
So I found a couple O.J. Simpson Twitter accounts. She sent me one.
It's either fake or he's a huge troll.
So I searched O.J. Simpson on Twitter. This is not the link she sent me, but his most recent tweet, okay, is playing 4 to 5 rounds of golf a week is killing my hands. Can any golfers out there tell me if Callaway makes a good glove?
Come on now. So he's either a huge troll or it's fake.
So I think it's fake.
Yeah, it has to be.
Because there's that one, and then there was enjoying my summer solstice playing 18 holes of golf. Amazing weather today. Not taking days like this for granted. Life is too short.
Yeah.
That's, guys, he's...
I don't think that's real.
Yeah, I think it's a joke. So, I thought that first tweet was hilarious. Does anybody have a good glove? Is great. She sent me one that said he was talking about fantasy football. He was saying, should I draft Patrick Mahomes or the field or something? Like, he was talking about only taking Patrick Mahomes for his fantasy team, which automatically makes me think it's fake because obviously...
Why is... Yeah.
Let's see. What some of these comments were pretty good. The number one reply to him asking about fantasy football is, well, why don't you draft Joe Flacco? I thought you were a fan of white Broncos. That's fantastic.
That's amazing.
The other one was, Baker Mayfield might be risky, but it wouldn't be the first time you took a stab at a Brown. Oh, woo!
Some people are witty.
Yeah, these people are great. So I don't think it's real. I looked at his page. He doesn't have any real tweets. And the first one I read didn't seem real either, but they made me laugh.
So the last thing I want to talk about is the comments that Shaq made. I think it was on First Take.
About the Lakers?
About the Lakers
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. And Shaq himself said he doesn't put himself on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Which I think is a travesty. Because, I mean, apart from, you got Magic, this is my personal. Magic, Kareem,
Kobe
Shaq, and Kobe.
For
those
sure.
are the four that are on there. Maybe the only one that you can maybe argue is Jerry West because he's like the original Laker.
Sure.
But he maybe won one title?
One.
Like 1-8?
1-9.
Yeah. It's
1-8, 1-9, one of those two.
It's one and disgusting is what it is.
I agree.
So he said that the only way that LeBron, because I guess they asked him, would you put him on the Mount Rushmore? And Shaq said, no, I don't even put myself on there. The only way he could even be put on there would be if he three-peated, which that's not going to happen, not in today's NBA. I disagree. On both of his parts. One, he is on the Lakers. You were part of, not only were you a part of a three-peat, you're part of arguably one of the greatest teams of all time.
Sure.
And literally the only way LeBron could sniff the Mount Rushmore is if he three-peated. That's it. I don't care. I grant it. He played for him. Congratulations. But unless he three-peats, he can win one title, and that still doesn't sniff the other four people on there.
Okay, so I'm going to play devil.
No, you're going to play I'm a LeBron fanboy.
No, because I agree with you.
Okay, good.
I don't think he would ever be on there, and I don't think he should
belong on there.
What I'm about to say is, so we both agree 100%. He's at minimum the second greatest basketball player of all time.
Yeah.
So by default, he's better than every other player you named on that list.
Sure, but he doesn't.
So by default, he's on the Mount Rushmore.
He belongs on the basketball Mount Rushmore. He does not belong on a specific team's Mount Rushmore.
He could join the freaking Grizzlies tomorrow. He's on the Grizzlies Mount Rushmore.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Because he's the greatest. He's the
Nope.
he's the greatest player since 2003 when he was drafted.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. You don't throw him just because he played. No, because a specific team Mount Rushmore is what they meant for the team. Like
Sure.
He definitely belongs. No, he doesn't. It's
but okay.
If you make Cleveland, it's just him with four different faces.
Like a happy phrase.
In
a frowning
Miami,
face.
it's literally two of Dwayne Wade and two of LeBron James.
Alonzo Mourning. Zoe?
I mean, don't get me wrong, he was good, but like, eh.
Okay, is LeBron James the best basketball player?
Did they
ever
win a
played for Miami
title?
Heat?
When in 06, did they win a title because of Alonzo Mourning?
No.
Or was he a part of a championship team? Because if you want to go
All right.
there, then Juwan Howard belongs on the Heat team because he won 2 titles by sitting on the bench. Shh. With that shit.
Okay, my thing is, we both agree.
I get what you're saying, but no. Just because you're one of the greatest players of all time doesn't mean
He is literally the best Laker to ever wear a Lakers jersey.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
He's the best player to ever wear a Lakers jersey.
No.
Yes, he is.
Nope. Number 24 is
No, because he's the second. Okay, is Kobe in your top 10? Maybe.
personal or like realistic.
In your realistic, is he in your top 10? You
Yeah.
have to think about it, right? He's probably 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there, right?
Yeah, 7.
Somewhere in there. We'd have to really think about it.
Just because everyone in front of him is so
Right.
transformative.
Yeah, and he's Michael Jordan light. My point is
He
LeBron
really
is
He really is. Like,
so
hard,
Max
like
Kellerman was like, So if he was talking about the Kobe, we talked about this an hour ago. If you had the Kobe and LeBron, maybe we didn't talk about.
We talked about it before we started recording.
I apologize. So anyway,
let's talk about it though. If you put
we
Kobe,
just gotta keep this podcast going.
Let's talk about this. This will be it, and then we'll end it because it is getting pretty long.
It's getting ridiculous.
But then again, we're gonna have an episode next week, so we're making up for it.
Yeah. Anyway, so the question was
back when LeBron made the decision.
Basically, when they made the decision. But if LeBron and Kobe played together, would they be better than MJ and Scottie Pippen? Stephen A. said that's ridiculous. No.
See, this is what I don't like about when older people start talking because they live in the then.
But Stephen A. is a very good analyzer. He's pretty.
So you're gonna tell me at the time Kobe coming off, they lost in Game 7.
Yes.
Coming off of almost another three-peat, right? And LeBron,
no, because they won.
Yeah, they won 2 in a row. They beat the Magic and they beat the Boston.
And then they lost.
Bro, he almost literally copied off of Michael Jordan and almost won all of his titles.
No.
Yes.
They lost to Boston.
They beat Boston because of Ron Artest. He had a killer game 6 or 7. Then they came back and they lost in 7 the next year. It was 2 in a row, Boston versus the Lakers.
You're right.
Because people were talking about, it's
the other way around. It's the other way around because the big three won their first title in their first year together.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
They are the only team in NBA.
When we come back in July,
the only team. Listen to me.
Apologize.
No,
it's fine.
They are the only team in NBA history to not make the playoffs the one year to win the championship the next year.
I disagree. There's no way.
It's a fucking fact.
All right, then maybe they did win, but then Kobe went and won in 2
more. There you go. Thank you.
Okay,
don't argue with me.
All right, well then I was wrong. Whatever. Still, he's still coming off back-to-back wins.
Yes. Anyway,
that's right. You know what? You are right because
I'm right.
They lost and they essentially swapped Trevor Ariza for
Ron Artest,
and then they won. You're right. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Anyway,
folks, right? You're making it in your note, your calendar. He said I was right.
He's right. I apologize. 1 out of a million. It's fine.
My God,
it's a fluke.
Okay,
so you're saying the idea that Kobe and LeBron could have been together when Kobe was still in his tail end of his prime,
right?
And then LeBron was in his prime.
So that was the discussion. If LeBron, instead of going to the Heat, had joined Kobe, would they have been a good fit? My response is they both would have benefited and they both would have had huge success.
I told you when you first asked me, I don't know if their playing styles would have worked well. Just because LeBron is ball heavy, whether it is he does facilitate, but he's still ball heavy.
I give you that.
Kobe is arguably the most ball heavy player of all time.
But he wasn't. It
wasn't not a bad way.
Ball heavy. He didn't sit there and dribble.
Yeah,
he would take the ball and he would score with it.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot. Yeah.
So he was a ball stopper for sure.
Yeah.
But ball heavy, you think James Harden?
But then again, though, you think he never really played with a facilitator.
Never.
So
and especially not anybody on LeBron's scale.
You don't know if things would have been different, which I do think they probably would have.
Yeah.
So I'm saying
and
first
Phil
instinct.
Jackson was still there.
First instinct, I thought no. You know what I mean? First instinct, but the more you started talking about it, and the more it started really sinking into me, I think Kobe wins at least 2 more rings.
Yeah.
And I think I do think that it makes LeBron who he became anyway.
Faster,
yeah, because then he wins. I think he wins a title his first year.
Yeah.
Who are they contending with? Boston again? Maybe. Who would have came out of the East if LeBron doesn't go to Miami? It would have been Boston.
Yeah.
Because Miami became the Boston Stoppers.
Correct.
So it would have been Boston again. But this is a totally different team. Because
LeBron's already plays well against Boston.
Already showed you he can own Boston by himself.
He's done it.
So now you've got number 24 standing over there.
Yeah. That would have been a gross team. So my thing is,
it would have been interesting to see LeBron and Kobe take on
the big three. These Lakers,
the Spurs.
Ooh,
that would have been a good Western Conference.
I still think
Finals.
LeBron doesn't want to see Kawhi ever.
Why would you?
Who wants to see Kawhi? But Max Kellerman was saying, he was like, so I think that he said that he thought Kobe and LeBron would be way better because if you take, so you got Michael Jordan, right? You just let a little bit of air out. Just okay, stop. That's Kobe, right? Just a
Yeah,
little
just a
bit,
little bit, yeah.
and then you take Scottie Pippen and you just pump that dude all the way up.
So you think LeBron is a better version of Scottie Pippen?
I think LeBron is Scottie Pippen on steroids times 2.
I don't think so. I don't think they're comparable.
Just because defense?
No, just because LeBron's overall better
Right.
in every aspect.
But
Maybe Scottie Pippen was a hell of a defender.
defense is the only
And maybe
area.
Scottie was a better shooter from beyond the arc.
No.
I don't really know their stats.
The answer is no.
Okay, so
The only thing Scottie did better than LeBron is play defense.
Maybe.
And
Though.
when LeBron is in his again, LeBron picks his spots, and that is one of his not faults, but he picks his moments. He doesn't play defense all the time.
if you're gonna play defense, play defense.
But
yeah.
in 2000, when they went to their first final in Miami, prime finals or not finals, but MVP Derrick Rose. Do you know who Miami put on Derrick Rose to stop him? LeBron.
Yeah. Well,
In those-
was it 6'3" versus 6'8"? So he not just got the size.
Not just size. He's fast enough. He's strong enough.
I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I'm saying
If LeBron had Kobe in his ear making him play defense the way he should, you're telling me he couldn't get on that level?
He wouldn't. He literally. If Kobe, if you don't know what type of player Kobe was in practice, go look it up. And don't look it up if you don't like swear words. Because
don't listen to our podcast if you don't like swear words.
True. Kobe was going to be one of those ones that will literally make you or break you.
Yes.
He was either going to make you a better player or he was going to make you not want to play basketball anymore. Or at least play for the Lakers. But I definitely think, like, literally sitting down and this whole, mulling it over,
Yeah.
I think they probably win at least 2 titles.
I think that when
The only thing that would have stopped them would have been Boston. And just because the big 3.
I don't
But then
think
again,
they
like
could've.
Ray Allen wasn't at his... Like, there was the downtrending.
Right.
The big 3 in Boston literally got together at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Because there literally was all enough left in the tank for all 3 of them.
To get one win.
LeBron didn't have any help in Cleveland.
None.
Kobe was still...
They put a team together.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
act like they didn't.
No, Kobe was still...
He was
trying to
gifted
put it together
that
on how
second
to-
title, though. Can we agree on that? Against the Magic?
No, you mean the 4th title?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant the second of the
Second,
that batch.
no, I think
Because he won 3, and then he won 2.
The Magic had no business being in the finals.
The
There's
NBA,
literally-
look, I know it's not rigged, but it should have been to get a LeBron Kobe final for the first time, probably only time.
When would you have wanted to see that?
When?
Yeah.
Then.
What year?
If you back that up a couple years to the win, maybe like 08, 09, because LeBron's just at his peak.
So you're saying
Kobe's still good.
you're saying when he's still playing with Cleveland,
Yeah.
the Cleveland that wouldn't be good because Kobe still had a better team.
Sure, I want to see Kobe and LeBron play each other in the finals.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because it's not a 1-on-1 game; it's a 5-on-5 game.
Correct.
If the rest of the team can't touch,
Tell
what
that to the
Lakers
Pistons that
have.
LeBron scored 25 straight points on.
Well, tell that to the Pistons that went in there and beat a gross Lakers team.
They destroyed you, swept you out of the finals with a
No,
broom.
I'm not saying LeBron's bad.
I understand.
And I'm saying, sure, from a basketball standpoint, watching Kobe versus LeBron in the finals would have been awesome, but Kobe wins because of the team.
Sure. There's no. What do you mean?
There's no perfect time to put them against each other team-wise. Because if you put it too early...
the Lakers are too good.
The Lakers are too good.
And if you go too late,
the Lakers are trash.
And the Heat...
Where do they match? The only time they match up, I think you're right, is the last season that LeBron is in Cleveland the first time.
Yeah.
But I just won't...
That's the year the Magic
If
went.
you want to watch them play in the regular season.
Yeah.
Because the games don't matter as much, then you can literally just focus on them two going at it. Whereas the finals, it's about the team.
For sure.
Regular season is more about
So
the players.
we've done this to death.
I really apologize for anybody that literally just turns this on to listen to sports for that 40-minute tangent.
No, we warned at the
It's
episode
in the name.
Episode 1, I said we will talk about everything from sports to video games to anime.
Nerd
is in there, folks.
If you do like what we did, let us know and we'll add more of it in.
We definitely.
Obviously, it won't be crazy tangents where we're just screaming at each other about how good and how bad movies are.
Every time we won't scream, but there will be yelling matches.
We can't. This friendship is built on yelling.
And I apologize for that. But hey, I think it's been a good long talk together.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope you guys enjoy it.
Follow us on the Facebook page. I do try to be active on there as much as possible. I know our fan base is kind of small right now. We don't have a lot of fan interaction.
Well, we're working on that.
We're getting on it. And then Twitter.
We got a Twitter account. I haven't made any tweets from it yet, but maybe if I have some like a question we want to ask you guys or something, we'll post it out there.
We definitely need to correlate on when one of us is, instead of just me asking questions on Facebook without letting you know.
Yeah, something like that.
Just so you know, I control the Facebook page. He controls Twitter.
I do the Twitter.
That way.
It's not too much for one person.
Well, no, not just that, but it's like, try to be.
Are we going
different.
on a tangent?
Yeah, we're going on a tangent.
All right, hey, listen.
We're saying goodbye. Episode 4 in the books.
Episode 4 in the books, a month done. Remember, no episode next week. The week after, we'll have another one. That's
definitely going to be all about NBA free agency.
112%.
I'm excited.
Yeah, free agency is going to be so much fun. Like we said earlier, 40% of the NBA is going to be free agents, so look out for that. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good week. We'll see you next time.
Later.